Yeah, I'm so good at depriving my children. They don't exist yet.
But anyway,
This is definitely one of the dumber ideas that will kill you for sure.
it'd still be fun.
Until you die.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's fun until you die from it, which means I have to take him home later.
Nope, I'll Uber back.
I was going to say, yeah.
Make Jessica, hey, welcome home. Take Jeff home.
Yeah, can you get rid of this, please?
She wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
She really did.
But it's 100% her fault.
That's what I told her. I pointed and laughed and then ran away.
And that's when you're like, lady?
I'm still going to do a bunch of test batches. What? No? Think it'll lay down too much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just randomly. Like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm testing out the paint.
Why is the tractor green?
It's a John Deere.
But that's a Massey Ferguson.
John Deere now, bitch. Very similar thing was about to happen because the Emperor said he was not going to fucking surrender until they hit the nuke.
Yep.
And then he said, well, they unleashed the fucking sun on us, and I'm supposed to be the son of the sun.
Well, look at that cloud.
We're gonna quit.
A mushroom.
I see her rolling up over black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
Yeah, I've missed coming up here, man. This is more like almost like therapy.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what it do.
Get to vent.
What do you mean miss? I mean, it's literally been a week.
Yeah, still.
It was last Tuesday.
Sometimes I wish we had time to record more.
Nah, because it really, if you've already done 2.5, almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then trying to do another is going to be rough. Okay, so I know he sent 2 different things, so we'll see which one's which. So I did give him a primer for this week.
Okay.
I had him send in his offender's superpower.
Nice.
So we can fix that.
So the mechanic.
Yeah, the editor.
Yeah, the editor.
Yeah, and the Captain Sweatpants.
Did you do any more work with the AI?
A little bit. I
Did it get better?
No, not really.
Because all I saw was like what looked like the inside of a turbine engine sitting around him.
Well, it was basically like parts. It was supposed to be like I literally plugged in guy you can take machines apart with his mind. And so that's what it came up with. And then it wasn't giving me any.
Did you add something like beard?
Yeah. So, but I gave slick back hair and beard.
Okay.
And then fat. Or I said a little belly is really what I said. I didn't say
give
fat.
me time. Fat won't
Because,
be there.
well, because fat, like I found the difference between fat and not fat, and also where you put the word matters in the prompt.
Yeah.
Because whenever I was looking for making my character, it was giving me way too skinny at first, and then I was like, okay, let me mess with it a little bit. So I put dad bod in there, and it helped. But then, like, it mostly was just looking like a fat, nerdy guy, which actually kind of was what I was shooting for in a way. But then it wasn't giving me anything with superpowers. And so a couple of them started showing, like, some, like, lightning or, like, wavelengths coming from the head. So those are the ones I saved.
You mark my words, by the time we hit episode 150, that belly's going to be mostly gone.
Yeah. Mine won't.
I'm excited.
Yeah. What was the other thing? Oh, so Captain Sweatpants, that was pretty easy. It was just, it wouldn't let me put a hand in his pants because it won't let you do inappropriate things. It does have censorship stuff. So that's unfortunate, but it is how it go. And then for yours, it was just, it was mostly like you, but like, it just, whatever. Make sure I have my notes. So here's the problem. I took notes for things I wanted to talk about today.
And they're gone.
No. But I mixed them in with my notes for editing last week because I listened to last week's. So I just got to make sure here. Okay, so there is something. I know I talk about YouTube stuff pretty often.
Yeah,
on the creator end of things. Yeah. And I watch Timcast IRL. That's usually like my political news show that I watch every day. And he's been talking for quite some time about being quote unquote blacklisted. Because people tell him in his chat, because he's got usually like 45,000 concurrent viewers during the live streams, that they don't see the show whenever they go to YouTube. They have to search for it. They can't find it. They go to the actual page. He says they can't find it.
That sounds like us.
No, we're just tiny. We have 80 subscribers.
He's
got like 2.2 million.
and 12 regular viewers.
Yeah. No, less than that, but either way. But no, he's got 2+ million viewers or subscribers, I should say. And one of the biggest shows that's actually live in the primetime segment on YouTube. And people claim they can never find it. I've been watching this show for damn near 5 years. I've never not
that's because you've
seen it in my feed.
You're probably subscribed.
These people are subscribed too. Some of these people have notifications turned on. So I have a theory.
What, they're idiots?
That's the basis of the theory, is that you're too stupid to hit your subscription tab. Because
and the notification bell,
They said they do, and they never get notifications. Now, that was a thing where literally YouTube wasn't blacklisting anybody, but the notification system was broken.
Yeah.
That has never been broken for me on anything I hit notify for. In fact, it's usually too annoying, so I actually turn that shit off. But what I think is going on is that these people who are having issues almost exclusively watch political stuff. So, like, they're just basically like watching all of the right-wing talk shows on YouTube. So, therefore, maybe on their end, it's a little blacklisted. But we talked last week about my YouTube algorithm is so varied.
Yeah.
Like nerd stuff, creator stuff, movie stuff, TV show stuff, right-wing commentary, GunTube, car guys, everything. Like I have a massive range of stuff I watch. So I never don't see it. Like usually if you're on YouTube and a show that you're subscribed to is live, it will sit at the top of your subscription feed while it's live. And they only ever post the show like not 10 minutes before it goes live, or else it'll get buried in your feed.
Yeah.
Because even though you say, hey, I'm going live, it'll just keep moving down. Because I watch my own live streams from my opposite channel, I see this. I posted at 7 to go live at 8. By 7:50, it's 15 fucking things down until I hit go live. Then it moves up to the top.
I did have trouble finding some of the trailers you put out on the podcast channel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is. I searched. I was wanting to show someone that the Ikigurb.
Well, the thing is, you shouldn't have to search. You should just go to this.
But it wasn't there, at least on my end.
Go to the channel, go to videos.
Did.
Weird.
Multiple times.
Don't know why that would be.
I know. It was irritating.
Because it's not even under shorts.
Right.
But that would make sense why people can't find us or haven't seen us. If it's buried for some reason. I mean, it's not like we do anything crazy. We just occasionally talk about insane shit.
We bullshit. We're boring.
Most of the time. I mean, I think we're funny.
We make each other laugh. That's all that matters.
Usually. That's true. But I think that there's just something wrong with... I think either people are dumb or because of the way your particular algorithm is causing those problems. It's not actually YouTube really necessarily taking direct action to make sure nobody can find this content. If you're subscribed, there's no reason you shouldn't see it.
Exactly.
There's zero reason. Now, YouTube does unsubscribe people from things, especially right-wing commentary shows or GunTubers or things like that. There is an automatic algorithm that if you haven't watched something in like a really long time, it'll unsubscribe you usually. But if you interact enough, like say you just pop in, you like a community post, they'll keep you there. Like I haven't watched an actual PewDiePie video in almost 2 years. Like I used to watch him daily because I loved his content. I thought he was funny. I loved his game streams.
Oh, I think I'm on a almost 40-year stand of not watching PewDiePie.
Well, I mean, he hasn't even been alive 40 years, so that's impressive. But I liked his content, and then when he started changing his life and got married, and they're trying to start a family and all this stuff, and then he got into stoicism. And then he started working out and everything, and he changed his content a little bit, got away from some of the goofy, everyday stuff. Still was funny, but, like, just wanted to do things that he was more interested in and wanted to see if his audience would follow.
You can only do the same thing so long till it's time to move on and grow as an individual.
True. And that's exactly what he talked about. Sorry, Thursday. Pre-gaming. For later.
Yep.
So either way, but I never had a problem ever seeing any of his stuff. Like there were some channels that I got unsubscribed from. Couldn't tell you which ones back in the day. And I think it was literally like, oh, I haven't watched that shit in forever.
Right.
And I think some people have been unsubscribed from me before, even though I've never done anything crazy on my original channel. Now, this podcast, maybe. I don't know.
Well, just because we have opinions?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, and we're not monetized, so I don't understand why they would care at all. You know, it's like we don't make money and we don't cost them money. I mean, in the way that we don't lose them any money.
Right.
They don't make any money from us, but they don't also lose any money from us.
So while we're talking about YouTube, I have fallen down a couple rabbit holes on YouTube, one of which has the potential to really do me some harm. You know, I've been watching Kill Tony, been catching up on that. I've been watching a kid called CB90 Adventures. He started off on a little CB90 little motorcycle, rode it across Vietnam.
I think,
and now he does all kind of different stuff. He's
I think somebody on my chat has told me about that.
Oh, it's great. It's fun to watch.
That just got brighter.
Yes. Ignore it.
Can't not.
Don't give the ghost his acknowledgement.
It's not a ghost.
Don't acknowledge the ghost. Anyway, the other big one that has a potential to be disastrous, I've become fascinated with paramotors. Backpack with a propeller on it, engine,
No.
parachute above you,
No.
no license needed to fly it, just a little bit of training.
No insurance required
Pretty much.
because you'll die and no one cares.
Well, you've been up to the farm. That dirt road is a great straight with nothing in the way.
It is nice to be straight with nothing in the way.
It is, but that has potential to be fun. If nothing else, fly to my mom and dad's over in Cleveland, you know?
No, that would be fucking horrible. You're just like, hey, I'm just going to fly 35 miles that way and hopefully not crash in the middle of fucking nowhere between counties.
Like I said, potentially disastrous, but
Yeah,
we'll see how far this
Sure.
goes.
Let's just say that you crash somewhere around fucking Trail's End.
Well,
and
I've
never
got
find your body.
At this point, physics is going to keep me out of the air. So I still have to lose a lot more
Look,
weight.
fat things fly all the time.
They do, but not on a friggin' parachute
I mean,
above your fucking head.
It's called lift.
I just some of the load rating.
Get a hot air balloon.
No,
Why? That definitely will fly.
it will, but you can't point it directions.
With a big ass fan, you can. You already want a big ass fan.
But anyway,
This is definitely one of the dumber ideas that will kill you for sure.
it'd still be fun.
Until you die.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's fun until you die from it.
Of course, my dumb ass I'll get up there and realize, shit, I am scared of heights. This is fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Well, much like we talked about earlier, is like enough of anything will kill you.
Yeah.
Like gravity. You will experience lots of gravity when your fucking parasail gives out on you because some redneck fucking shot at you with a shotgun.
Right?
Like, what the goddamn Chinese spies over here looking over my fucking house again. God damn it.
Shit, he returning fire.
Yep.
Death from above.
Yeah, I don't think we should make your own your own spy backpack. I don't think this is a good plan.
It still seems fun.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you leave a lot of shit to me in your will. Not me.
I leave you the paramotor.
Can't use it. Too bloody. Too bloody. Too burnt.
Where is it? It's in a tree.
I'm not going to get that. It's fine. Oh shit. Although I have a question to set up that I finally remembered the question I forgot last week whenever we were discussing things.
I don't remember.
I know. So there was a
Enlighten me.
Shut up. Fucking dick.
Hey, keep this lighthearted.
No. Because Shaun asked a particular question setting things up, and then I'm like, okay, we had talked about actually it was 2 weeks ago with the question of last meals, last movie, last phone call. But I thought last week of an addendum to that, and that's what I forgot until I rewatched to do the edit. Last words.
Last words.
Yeah, what would you want your last words to be?
Before I die.
Yeah, like literally injection coming.
Oh, not pre-combat, just death penalty.
Yeah, it's still a situation. You're on death row. You're just the last thing you're going to say on record. Give it a little thought.
That's tough. I mean, off the bat, I'm going Peter Griffin, Shawshank Redemption, Watermelon Boob.
Watermelon boob.
Remember that bit?
No, I don't even know that.
Yeah. Is who was it? It was Cleveland that was playing the Morgan Freeman role.
Of course.
He said it was 2 weeks before Andy Dufresne said 2 words to anybody. And Peter walks up and goes, "Watermelon boob."
That was after he had bad things had happened to him.
No, they were doing the Three Kings episode where they were doing 3 Stephen King books.
Oh, okay.
And the other one was what's the one with the author? Lady breaks his legs, hold him captive.
Not Cape Fear.
Not Carrie. Mercy? No.
I know which one you're talking about.
But it was Brian as the author and Stewie dressed up as the chick.
Okay, so I've seen part of that then.
And what was the third one? Shawshank Redemption. That one and
It. I don't know. Stephen King has a giant fucking catalog.
God, I can't remember. Anyway, moving on.
Sure.
Watermelon boob.
Watermelon boob. Watermelon boob. Not my best Peter Griffin, but I can't do that accent anyways.
Right. I'll stick to Morgan
I know what mine would probably be if I was thinking of it, and it's been my motto forever, and it's even the name of one of my YouTube channels. It doesn't have to make sense.
Right.
It just has to be loud.
I like it.
And then, fucking throw the switch, and then I let out a giant fart as everything
Of course.
up. But I think that's just ultimately fitting. Because the point of it is, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else as long as they remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I came up with that a long-ass time ago.
Right.
So on that somewhat depressing note, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 111.
Wait. We're starting now? I thought...
That was all pre-roll.
Shit.
Yep. So, yes, we got to do the intro. We can't do it. You can't just go in with no intro.
Okay.
You got to have a little foreplay before you hawk Tua into the episode. So episode 111, which is going to be very interesting for me to figure out how to do the thumbnails.
Be a very phallic thumbnail.
Yeah. Well, 111 is like one of my numbers because my birthday is 111.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like that thing. But of course, you can follow me at all Shoki related things down below in the description. But also, please, for the love of God, subscribe to this channel here on the YouTubes or on the Rumbles.
Come on, you want to do it. All 12 of you can't keep us going.
And maybe even, I don't know, download it, listen to it or something like that on the Spotifys or the Apples or wherever you're going to listen to it.
The Rumbles?
That'd be great. Well, I already said Rumble. But I'm talking about the audio platforms. The ones where nobody fucking seems to be listening to anything.
True.
Like 2 downloads in like 3 weeks.
Oh,
It's
wow.
fucking weird. I don't know what's going on there. But over here in the green shirt.
Hey, it's F.A. I'm back.
Yeah, see, of course he's here. Where else would he be?
Yeah, true.
I said, hey, we're going to have beer today. And he said, I'll dress nice.
Yeah, I dressed nice. Took an Uber even.
Yes, he did. Which means I have to take him home later.
Nope, I'll Uber back.
I was going to say, yeah.
Make Jessica. Hey, welcome home. Take Jeff home.
Yeah. Can you get rid of this, please?
Anyway, Cry Havoc Kitchens at the Instagrams.
Yes. Sorry, I have to mute this tab somehow.
You can also contact us on Facebook via the Now You Made It Awkward podcast Facebook page. You can write us a message, leave us a voice message, post pictures, interact with us, or at least with Shoki. He'll interact with you. I'll point and laugh.
Yes, that is all very true. But I forgot to say the email thing because I was distracted with Shaun sending messages. So, guys, you can also write into the show at nowyoumade.it awkwardmail@gmail.com. And I'm sitting here looking over here to make sure things I wanted to talk about before I close Facebook over there. But because you already did the thing.
I did?
Yeah, so now we have Shaun's message for the week. Actually, he sent in 2 messages. One is a question he thought of last week but forgot.
Nice.
Or Monday. I don't know. We talked yesterday, so weird.
And he sent it via the face page or all that?
The face twits.
You twit?
Yeah, the twit tube. Twit tube. I like this. Okay. So, yes.
What's our resident twit got to say?
Yeah. So, and then.
Love you, Shaun.
Yeah. So, I don't know which message is which. So, we're just going to hit the thing and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the volume is okay, too. Oh, by the way, before I hit the button, we have the fat cam.
Back and back.
Slightly altered to show less fat.
Yeah.
Slightly. Slightly less fat. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go.
Question for the pod. Like when you grab something to drink, and in your head you think you're grabbing said thing, and then you take a big old gulp of it, and it is not said thing you had in your head. Why is it the most disgusting shit you've ever put in your mouth when it's not what you think it is? You know what I mean? You ever done that? Like, you say you grab the styrofoam cup and you think it's going to be some iced tea, and it's fucking Diet Coke. or something. You know, it's the most disgusting thing you ever put in your mouth because it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, I got one that almost got me skinned the fuck alive.
Okay.
Years and years ago, I had a bad habit of dipping.
Okay. So, yeah.
And I had a Popeyes cup that was empty.
Uh-huh.
My vehicle, the vehicle that only I drive, the vehicle that no one else rides with me in hardly ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I had spitting in the straw, as you do. Well, my wife jumped in to a vehicle she hasn't rode in probably 4 weeks and grabbed a cup that she didn't know the contents
Just
of.
picked up a cup to drink from it.
And all she got was my tobacco spit. And she was
Not only that,
fucking livid.
old tobacco.
Yeah.
Gross.
She was. She wanted to kill me. She
Yeah.
really did.
But it's 100% her fault.
That's what I told her. I pointed and laughed and then ran away.
And that's when you're like, lady?
Why would you get into a car and grab a random cup and drink out of it?
Yeah, it's not even a cup you brought.
Exactly.
Why would you drink that? Okay, so that aside, I know exactly what he's talking about because I do this sometimes. Say like Jessica picks up food on the way home. Say she stopped at Whataburger. I told her to get me a Sprite. Normally I would get a Dr. Pepper, but usually they get the mix wrong, so I'd go for something safer. They usually don't fuck up Coke products as much as they do Dr. Pepper. So she brings home the drink I ordered, and I pick it up, and I take a sip. Brain goes, man, this Dr. Pepper's going to be good. And then I sip what is clearly a mouthful of mediocre Sprite.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, ugh. Yeah, I don't think it's the worst thing imaginable, like Shaun said.
But it catches you completely off guard, and you have a visceral reaction to it.
Or in the case of like sometimes go to a restaurant and you slightly change up the order and you get a tea instead of a fucking Coke.
Yeah.
And it looks somewhat similar, but your brain still expects a Coke and you drink tea. Yeah, same thing. It's just like because your brain primes your taste buds to taste something else.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like there's like those berries that you can eat that will shift your
The miraculum berries.
something like that, miracle berries or
It's
whatever.
called
they're called.
miraculum. And,
Yeah.
they coat your taste buds and turn everything sour into a sweet.
Yeah, and vice versa. Yeah, so it's weird that it can completely change, especially if it's something that
Just
tastes a certain way.
You just eat a lime.
Yeah, but you taste something, you know what it tastes like, but if your brain doesn't understand what just happened, and it could be good or could be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is absolutely a silly question. But no, he's right though.
Well, even years later, you know, she hasn't done the spit thing because I quit dipping years and years ago. Probably shortly after that.
She learned her lesson.
No.
Oh, no?
She'll still come up and grab whatever I have sitting nearby. Most of the time, it's like 90% liquor and a little bit of soda.
Well,
And she'll grab that and about want to die breathing fire.
not so much anymore.
And not much anymore, but used
Now
to
it's
good.
protein powder and whiskey, which you fucking did without even thinking.
That wasn't protein powder. It was a weight loss powder, kind of like a pre-workout.
It's still fucking some type of protein powder.
There's no protein in it, just caffeine and weight loss shit.
Whatever. It's shitting. It's shitting powder. Still not meant to be mixed with whiskey, but apparently that's what we're doing today.
We're going to have a good day, Bubba.
Like you. Yeah, I'm going to call that Uber real early.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, come get this, please. I don't care where you take it. Just take it from me. Sorry about it. It smells. Okay.
He
But,
fell.
yeah,
Down 3 flights of stairs.
twice. It was weird when he came back up and said, do it again.
Whee!
Yes, he was that bloody when I left him at the bottom of the stairs
Oh, damn.
the third time. But no.
And only half of it's his.
Yes. Okay. So, guys, if you've been paying attention the last couple weeks, we have begun our chapter of the offenders, now known as the awkward offenders.
The awkward offenders.
So that's our division of the offenders as a spinoff of the Unsub podcast. So I brought it up to Andre. So the new rule. Hold on.
Offenders, Defender of Nymea.
No,
Oh.
too much. Too big of a title. So the new rule is, as long as you've been on the show at least twice as a guest, you can join the team.
Nice.
So Will would be here later today, but unfortunately he's not. We
We'll
have
wait
things.
to see what his pick is.
Yeah.
And then we get to destroy it.
Yes. So I since Andre has not been on the show twice, but I'm planning on having him on again soon when he has a free day. he will be able to choose at that point. I think, and I did warn him ahead of time. So he said he and his friends did a thing similar back in.
What about young
past.
Jordan?
Jordan would qualify, but because of his new work schedule,
He can't.
well, he's rarely available.
Oh, that blows.
He doesn't get off work until like 6, and right now he's working in College Station. So,
Now, whatever his powers would be, it can only be activated while he's talking like Elvis.
no, while he's got the glasses on, probably. Or no, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We can't set an offset until we know what the power is, because half the time the offset is affecting the actual ability. Because like it's meant to actually kind of hinder you a little bit, and not just
Captain
embarrass
Sweatpants joystick had me cracking up.
Yeah,
that was great.
Captain Sweatpants. I feel bad for Annual because I'm pretty sure he really was happy about flying. Yep.
Pull up. Oh,
Are you trying to fly, or are you just happy to see me?
hurry, make a manly noise.
No.
No, you're doing it wrong.
So I primed Shaun to send in whatever his power was going to be, because Shaun is the longest running member of the podcast, technically speaking, because Mike is not really around, but Shaun is more active at this point.
Yep.
So
What's he got?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm concerned because I feel like it's going to be like super strength or something, because he was a bodybuilder type and all that. So I have no idea. Plus Shaun is a fucking weirdo. So I have no fucking clue what he's going to say. But and he was concerned that we're going to do what they did on the latest or one of the most recent unsub and just say, you're gay. That's your offset. It's like, no, we're not going to be that simple. We're going to make it really bad for you.
Trying to be part of the pod. So I'm going to say my superpower. I don't know what exactly you would call it, but I'm going to tell you what my superpower does.
Okay.
You can call it what you want to. So my superpower is, if I'm involved in a conversation with you, you cannot get emotionally involved. You know what I mean? No matter what we're talking about, religion, politics, morals, and values, you cannot get emotionally involved, and you have no choice but to have a civilized conversation where you're willing to see the other one's view and hash it out intellectually with facts. You cannot get emotionally compromised if you have a conversation with me, no matter what it is. That's my superpower.
So forced stoicism.
Yeah,
Or is it forced civility?
Forced civility for sure.
But emotionally.
But he's shutting down.
Because that's one of the larger problems we're having right now. Everybody is thinking, voting, and acting with their feelings instead of logic.
Correct. So I don't even know what to call this. Basically, it's
civil stoicism.
I don't even know if it's that, because it's not making the other person stoic. Stoic is something very different. It means that they can only be logical in their arguments. But if the person doesn't have logic, you can't force logic into their head. You know, you can stop and maybe shut off their emotions, and they can.
Well, like
they have to think something through, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what. I mean, it has to technically be emotional manipulation is the actual power, because it's really what you're doing.
Because it's essentially radiating a sense of calm to those around you.
I don't know about calm, because reason is like you're also putting out.
Well, you got to be calm first to think logically.
Well, if you don't have emotions, odds are you'll be calm.
Yeah.
So it's mostly emotional manipulation. Huh. So I would think that.
So what's that switching off in an individual?
Just the emotion center of the brain and cranking up the logical center of the brain. So the only thing that I could think for an offset of that would be that you cry like a bitch after the fact. Like by turning off someone else's emotions, you end up turning into a weeping little bitch after the fact.
Oh, Shaun does.
Yes. Not them, you, because it's on you, the fucking effect. It's like, if you're affecting someone else's emotions that bad, then the only thing you can do is cry afterwards.
That's a tough one, the offset.
Yeah.
Or it could just be something really stupid, you know?
Like he's gay.
No, I'm
just kidding.
Every time he does it to somebody, sometime later in that evening, he will stub his pinky toe.
Nah, I like the idea that immediately after the conversation, he goes and has a cry. Like it's just like, I have to go have a cry.
Pint of Haagen-Dazs.
It's like to force others to be quote unquote stoic means you have to suffer the emotional damage after the fact. You're okay, but you can't help but cry after you've done this to someone. Oh, well, he's basically emotionally raping them. So he's having the crying game after the fact.
His cape's a Snuggie.
He's just wearing a Snuggie. Actually, Shaun would probably love a good.
Actually, I have a super Snuggie.
Yeah.
It's got feet pockets.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
So Shaun wears a fucking fleece onesie with a fucking hood. That's his fucking
And a butt flap.
and a butt. Well, he needs that for sure. No matter what Shaun's wearing, he needs the butt flap for expedient shit.
For expedience and activities?
Yes. I'm going with
Shaun, why are you wearing it backwards?
Huh? He's got the hood down by his face, and it's just fucking butt flap hanging out the front.
Popcorn in the hood.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with that.
The barn door's open, literally.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that after you have this calm and reasoned discussion, you have to go away and cry.
Yep.
Every time.
Good solid cry.
Every fucking time. Yeah, it's going to be a minute. Like, you're going to cry for like 30
Now,
minutes.
is the intensity, is the cry session intensified with numbers of people affected in the same conversation? Could he roll up to Congress?
I would say no. I don't think number of people matters.
And go, yum, yum, yum,
No,
whatever he does.
I think it's the difference from starting point to change point. So how emotional they were to begin with to how calm they are.
Oh, Lord. So if he went to the DNC, his head would explode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would be crying for days. So he has to cry.
Just a dehydrated husk.
So here's the thing.
In a freaking onesie.
He has no ability to measure that difference.
That's why he wears it backwards. The hood
to cry into the hood. There you go.
Collects his tears.
Yeah. So his superhero name or power would be Cry Havoc. No, just kidding.
The Equalizer?
I don't know about Equalizer. I'll come up with a name later. I'm good at that part. Because you got to come up with what the power is. Well, that's the name either way.
Snuggles.
Yeah. So here's the funny part. He won't know until Monday.
Yeah.
What we said. So that would be interesting. So, haha, Shaun, you get to go cry.
Hey, you better post it with a picture or something.
Yeah. Of him crying. so a guy, like a big muscular dude, just weeping in the corner.
Can you grab a picture and throw it to AI and say, make this person cry?
Not the one I have, but if I had a different one, I thought about if it gets funny enough, I'll pay for Grok, because apparently Grok is pretty good.
Nice.
That's Twitter's AI. But the one I have on my phone is less powerful, but I can make a muscular dude who looks kind of like Shaun cry. That'd be funny.
He's skinny now, though, isn't he?
I mean, he's still a big dude. He's not skinny.
But he's not fluffy.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pudgy for what he considers. He said he's got some handles.
Yeah, he talked. We were talking about the weight loss, and he says he's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah. Well, he sweats his ass off every day, whether he wants to or not.
Oh, is that why he's always on the road? He seems like he's homeless because we always hear traffic around.
The shop is right on the side of the highway.
Oh, so he's not panhandling all day.
No. Well, I mean, yes. But no, I mean, literally the shop is directly off the highway, and there is only the highway.
Okay.
As I learned in Childress.
What's he do, swing wrenches or what?
He's a body guy.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a painter, body guy, whatever they need him to do.
Body by Snuggles.
Whatever the boss tells him to do in that day that he didn't know he had to do beforehand, but some guy shows up to, hey, what's his face told me that we were going to do a thing today. It's like, oh, well, that's nice. Nobody told me that.
Right.
Okay, so let me stop what I've been doing for the last 2 hours to help you now.
Well, Shaun, I will be painting my Suburban later this year. I will be bugging you.
That's a long drive to have him paint anything.
Nope, I'm painting it. I'm bugging him for advices.
Sanded good.
Yeah, I'm going for the military texture.
I know what you want to do.
Yeah, so I'm thinking a foam roller with an implement paint will work really nice. I'm still going to do a bunch of test batches. What? No?
No.
Think it'll lay down too much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Like I said, I'm doing test batches.
That's what sprayers are for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just buy the big fuck off sprayer.
I got one.
Yeah. Get one.
But anyway.
Use it.
But that's where test batches come in.
Yeah.
I've got a shit ton of plate steel so I can practice on. And
no, just start painting other things that don't need to be painted just for fun.
yeah.
Like a lawnmower. Or, the four-wheeler. Like, just randomly. Like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm testing out the paint.
Why is the tractor green?
It's a John Deere.
But that's a Massey Ferguson.
John Deere now, bitch.
Wrong green.
Whoops. That's not my fault. Look, green is green at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. I think. I don't know. So, earlier, you said you didn't get a chance to watch any of the debates or anything.
I opted not to.
So I got about 25 minutes into the debate while watching it on Timcast, and I couldn't stand to listen to Kamala anymore.
Yeah.
And then listening to all the criticisms after the fact, I'm not surprised about anything that happened. Just the sheer amount of nonsense she fucking spewed and baited Trump into fighting her on.
Yeah.
Like, she poked the bear a couple times, and he fell for it, which he should not have done, but he did. So that's why he looked bad. I wouldn't say anybody won that debate, but if anybody...
No, the United States lost.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say she gained any ground whatsoever, because at no point did she ever talk about what she actually plans on doing.
She never talks about what she's doing. What she's going to do is try to strip us of all our rights and install a totalitarian government.
Well, she's already been installed, so there's that. Well, here's the thing about it. The only thing that I saw that she said was about the opportunity economy.
So gig economy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally a gig economy for everyone. It's like, I'm sorry, not everyone needs a job here because not everyone is a citizen here.
Right.
Make them a citizen the legal way.
Tax them.
Tax the fuck out of them the same way you tax normal people. Actually, tax them more because they came here illegally in the first place.
Right.
And then once they've paid their dues for the last 30 years they didn't live here, then they can pay taxes like a normal person. Sorry, that might be a little extreme. Oddly enough, something I suggested when the last time we were talking about these things, because I've re-listened to some of our discussions, we were talking about the violence from illegals and stuff last week, and Trump actually somehow heard that, even though it never went public, and I said that he should end all sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
He literally added that as a platform.
He's been talking about that for years.
But he added it after the debate.
Fucking A.
Yeah, because now we have...
Hey, we're available for cabinet seats.
I mean, sure. I'll be head of nonsense. So FBI would be great. Thank you.
Right?
No, sorry. Hold on. No, we got to leave that for RFK. No, the other thing is that I didn't talk about was a bubbling story last week.
Oh, the hungry people.
Do you mean the people eating cats?
Yeah.
Yeah. So people have still been debating this, that there's not Haitian migrants eating cats when there's literally videos of...
Because I'm a child, mentally, first thing that popped into my head was Brendan Fraser from George of the Jungle. Doggy dog, doggy dog. George, no bring ship there. Nope.
Yep. Exactly. So
and I started laughing. And
you're very much... Don't yoink. You yoink.
I'm very much what?
You very much are a child. That's what you thought about when somebody said eating cats.
Either that or Chinese food.
You know? I was thinking vagina. Pussy.
Ah.
Yes. But anyway, I mean, there's literally video from last year, I think it was, of a dude literally grilling a cat. Like, skinned it and it's grilled, feet up on the fucking grill. And the hilarious thing is, the guy videoing is like, another cat wanders in, and he's like, oh, man, he's coming to find his buddy. He's fucking on the grill. So, I mean, it is happening. They are killing animals and eating them.
And everybody's naysaying it, trying to shout it down. This never happened.
I mean, it's legitimately happening.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. It's the fact that, not that because these people are not illegals. They came here. A lot of them are Haitian or African, or they come from countries where you have to basically...
Or were they given asylum?
Yes. But I'm saying they're not illegals necessarily. No. And some of them have been here for a long time. But the thing is, there's no cultural absorption. We don't melt people into the pot anymore. We say, hey, thanks for coming here. Ignore this. You be you. And they stay in their culture of where they came from.
We no longer have nationalized citizens.
Yes, it's true. We don't nationalize.
We have immigrants with green cards.
Yeah.
Who don't want to adapt our cultures, become a nation of us.
Yeah.
Which that's one of our greatest fucking strengths as America is, we are such a melting pot, and we have so many skills and abilities, from all over the world that we're able to play to our strengths.
Mm-hmm. We absorb people's strengths into what we have. Yeah.
We've forgotten that we work together and divide and conquer. Instead, we're divided and button heads.
Divide and fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, water burp. That was nasty. So, but the thing is that they allow these enclaves to happen, and this is the kind of shit that used to happen.
It's been happening forever. Any Chinatown in major cities and stuff like that.
But this is the kind of stuff that started, say, in New York, but where immigration people came there first. That's literally where you imported to when you came to America. So you probably ended up settling in one of the 5 boroughs, waiting your citizenship, generally speaking.
Oh, that's happening over in Splendora.
Yeah. Well, that's an illegal colony is what that is. That's Little Mexico happening over there. I'm aware of that place. I've been there. So, but like, even for my grandparents who came here after the war because they had no country left.
Yeah.
They wanted to come to America, and they settled eventually once they came into New York Harbor. They saw the Statue of Liberty, all that. And then eventually they came to Texas at some point and settled in a Ukrainian neighborhood that eventually became more of a multicultural area. So it was like, here's the small Ukrainian section, here's the generic Hispanic section, for lack of a better term, and then there's the black section, that kind of stuff like that. And it's just like, basically it just became a lower income immigrant area. Is really what it became. Even to this day, it hasn't changed where they used to live. It's still roughly the same. But yeah, when you come here from a completely different country, completely different culture, it makes sense to settle near people similar to you, especially if they speak the same language, if you didn't learn English. But you don't assimilate to America at all, and you just basically create these tiny enclaves of your culture.
Back in the Ukraine, but in America, you don't change anything about your normal routine, your schedule, your lifestyle.
But see, that was the difference, is that here, when my grandparents came here, they did assimilate.
Yeah.
While they still had a Ukrainian neighborhood.
Did you ever get any stories out of your grandparents about their experience?
There's a whole book about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who wrote it?
My mom.
That's awesome. I wouldn't mind reading it.
Yeah.
That had to be terrifying.
Yeah.
Just leaving everything you've known, leaving your country, and then going somewhere new.
Well, there wasn't much to leave.
But still having no choice.
Yeah.
Basically, that was their only option.
Yeah. I mean, they were in Germany for a while. They made it to France. At that point, they had started having more children after the first one was killed by the Nazi doctors. And then came over here with, I think...
Do you have the book?
I don't. My mom does.
Okay.
I want to get it and have it completely redone.
Has it been published at all?
No, it was only self-published. It's only like 14 copies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because she literally printed it and had it bound.
I wouldn't mind reading it.
Yeah, it's a hard read because it's a direct.
Well, it's harder for you because that's family.
No, I mean it's literally a hard read because it's my mom directly translating my grandparents talking. And it's written to the best of its ability into something of a narrative, but it's mostly just memoirs. So when I say it's hard to read, I mean in a very literal sense.
Oh, it's not difficult to make sense out of.
It's a difficult read, because there's as much narrative structure as someone just telling you about their life can be. There was no. It's like I wouldn't mind rewriting it a little bit, not changing any of the facts, but adding to it to make it a better story to read. In fact, I wouldn't mind if there was someone who could animate some of the stuff they went through, like some of the stories they went through going through World War II.
Learn to do it yourself. Make that
That's nothing I want to do.
Make that a YouTube series.
That's nothing I want to do. I will pay somebody,
or
I will put it in AI. I don't give a shit.
Like a more serious version of like Bruce Stu.
I don't even know what that is.
That guy who does the shitty cartoons with the stories and all that.
That's an incredibly vague description.
Yeah. That's a very accurate description of what he does.
It's very, very vague. There's like 9,600 different channels.
Yeah.
But either way, no. But the point stands is that my grandparents came here in the fucking 50s to start over new. And the rule back then was you come in here, great, learn English, assimilate, get a job when you'll become a citizen when we get through this huge pile of people coming here. And that's what they did. My grandparents took citizenship.
That's everything. What they did all the way up to the 80s.
Even past that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just that was the thing that you had to do, the thing that was enforced to do. And even like my mom, well, I guess, and her siblings went to a very, very strict school. It was a religious school. I hesitate to say Catholic because I think it was Orthodox.
I did that for 2 years.
Yeah. But they were so strict that if they spoke Ukrainian, they would whip them.
Oh, really?
They making sure they spoke English.
Wow.
Because that was the point. Like, learn fucking English, learn math, all these other things, and if you screw up, you get whacked with a ruler or whatever punishments they would do. So, I mean, while I don't necessarily condone the violence to learn, it worked. You know, they still held on to their culture.
Yeah, they get whacked for speaking Ukrainian, but are made to learn Latin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it wasn't that Orthodox.
Don't speak this, speak that.
Well, it was Ukrainian Orthodox. Similar.
Okay.
But not, you know. It's a lot of those, like, it was basically like Catholicism on steroids.
Okay.
But in Ukrainian, not in Latin. Because why would you speak Latin in a country that doesn't speak Latin? Yeah, exactly.
Why does the rest of the Catholic Church speak Latin in half their stuff?
Because of where it came from. Remember the Roman?
What, Israel?
The Roman part of the beginning of that. The Roman Catholic Church speaks Latin. That's weird.
Like Christianity, Israel. That's where it come from.
It's not the Greek Catholic Church. That's a completely different thing. Either way.
Nomine Patri et Filii Spiritus Sanctus.
Whatever.
Amen.
You know, I have a Boondock Saints hat over there.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, but I have a hat. It's right over there. It's called the Boondock.
Yeah.
That black one down there at the bottom on the right. On the inside, it says Veritas Equitas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's got the plaid pattern on the inside.
That's two of my favorite movies. And I'm ready for the third. I'm so anxious.
I don't think it's going to be any good.
I'm still going to watch it.
Second one wasn't good.
But, yeah, no Billy Connolly.
I thought he was.
He died in the end of the second one.
Doesn't mean he can't come
Shot
back.
to fucking shit.
Who cares? It's a movie. He survived. They were shot to shit too. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, but he dead.
Yeah, he ain't dead. He's coming back. Either way, but yeah, no. But back to the whole craziness in this country. The Swifties are now mad at Trump.
Of course,
because he said I hate Taylor Swift on Truth Social because she came out for Kamala. Duh. As though that wasn't going to happen.
That's because they're all told to.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Hey, do this or you're going to get canceled. That is I guarantee you that's been the
cancel
whole
Taylor
threat.
Swift.
No, for real. That's
for
been
not playing along.
Every actor, artist, anything in California, I guarantee was told you need to do this or you're going to get canceled.
Well, there's a lot of them that don't give a shit.
It seemed like at the very fucking same time, everybody jumped on that bandwagon and started saying the exact same thing.
Well, that part's true. But there are those who just said, okay, and then didn't get on board anyways. They just shut their mouths and just lived their lives. But now they're coming out pro-Trump or just not pro-Democrat.
Or they're just moving to Austin.
Yeah, or Texas in general. People got to stop moving to Austin. Texas is a big goddamn state. I was like, this is a massive fucking state. Move to Midland. Taxes are cheaper in Midland, I guarantee
Midland,
it.
Odessa, there's a casino over there.
There
you can
ain't
hang out.
shit in Midland, Odessa. If you want to be left the fuck alone and you want lower taxes, move to fucking
There's
Midland.
bars, oil fields, and hookers. That's all that's out there.
That's plenty good for a fucking for a lot of these fucking old timer fucking Hollywood types. Texas is a massive fucking state. Move somewhere other than fucking Austin. The only reason they moved to Austin is because it's the most California in Texas. It's like in the literal sense, there's more Californians in Austin, I think, than Texans at this point.
Probably.
There was another thing that was going on, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It's another fucking retarded thing.
Well, while you think on it, bathroom break.
Well, it's been a million years since you had to take a bathroom break.
Oh, trust me,
an
I'm
hour into the fucking show. Fine, we'll just pause the show because Jeffy's got to pee.
Unless you want me to be.
Well, Jeff's done peeing, everybody. Fucking easy. All right, so I remember the thing. I remember what I was trying to remember.
What'd you remember?
I went and saw the new Matt Walsh movie.
Are you racist?
Yes. I mean, no. I set myself up. Yeah. So, no, I went to go see the movie. Jessica and I went and saw the movie Saturday.
Wasn't funny, was it?
It was very funny.
Really?
It's fucking hilarious. It is a comedy.
Oh, is that the one where they had it was like they're just making fun of all that shit.
Pretty much.
Had the dude wrestling the chick and all that, body slamming her and shit.
No.
Then there was another one I'm thinking.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Oh.
That was not in this movie. No. The title of the movie is Am I Racist? He wasn't asking me if I was racist. I saw last year, What is a Woman? Jessica and I watched it. And actually, I watched it, then I watched it again with Jessica. But you had to go I just turned it all the way up, and then it's automatically adjusting itself. So
I'm enjoying it now.
I fucking hate it. So
I'm no longer blaming you.
I'm glad.
Hey, we're moving in the right direction.
At least I know it's not the fucking electrical outlet.
Anyway, back to
The movie.
By the way, that clip, that's going to be my new ringtone.
What?
Are you racist? Yes.
remember my superpower. Anyways, so the movie is very intentionally funny because all he doesn't debate anyone. He just goes along with them.
Oh, really?
He adopts the entire DEI.
So it's basically
agenda.
marrying techniques the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally does to them exactly what they do. And he makes them practice what they preach.
But does he flip the script and come at them from the other side of it?
No. He asks questions.
Yeah.
And then goes along with everything they say.
All right.
To the point of absurdity.
Really?
Which is the point.
Which he basically gives them enough rope and
He gives them all the rope.
lets them wiggle.
He lets them design the rope to hang themselves with.
Yeah.
And the main agenda of the show, not only to make these people look insane, to show you how much money they make from what they do.
Yeah.
Because he tells you what it costs them to interview these people or have them come and do their program.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point, like, he's like, well, this has been really costly. I got to figure out how to make money back from this. He's like, wait, I know. So he starts his own DEI seminar to make money. And it goes about as well as one can expect.
Just absolute United States of absurdity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full idiocracy on display.
Man.
But it is shot incredibly well. And there's no like obscure like cameos or anything else like that they did with What Is a Woman because they had to bring in the other side for the argument. This was never about the argument.
So the argument came to them.
Didn't have to. He went looking for the other side.
Okay.
He wanted to know, was he racist? Quote unquote. Now, when I say he's intentionally funny, because I'm not going to spoil it all because I want you to go see it. They reenact a supposed very racist act, but it's being done to him.
Okay.
Yeah. So a very famous racial interaction that happened a few years ago, he recreates just to see what it would feel like to be on the receiving end of such horrible racism.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And the thing is with Matt Walsh, if you're unfamiliar with him, he is just very, very deadpan.
Mm-hmm.
Like at all times. That is just he has one drive. That's it. You know, if there's anybody who kind of is Ron Swanson-esque, it's that.
Right.
But he doesn't have excited mode. He only has one speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like this.
Yeah.
He just always talks like this. But he has a ridiculously deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
So the funny thing is, he has to wear a disguise through most of the movies because he got recognized when he started it.
Because he catches so much hatred and vitriol by just speaking logically.
Yeah.
And asking questions.
Yeah.
And telling the truth.
Yeah.
And people get so mad at it. It gets really funny.
Yeah. So what happens with this is, like I said, he doesn't argue.
No,
He doesn't voice any logic. He just goes along.
So it's the opposite of What Is a Woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was never about winning the argument. It's about showing what the other side's argument is.
Yes.
And that's why it's brilliant. And that's why it better be it won't make $1 billion, but at least here on a Saturday afternoon.
But sadly,
there
the
was
people
nobody
that
in
need
there.
to see that movie will not
It's already been banned in California.
go see it.
It's banned in California.
Banned.
Yeah.
Wow.
The theater said we're not showing this. We don't want to.
We don't want anybody to see the truth.
They said specifically we don't want to subject our employees to this hatred.
What hatred?
Exactly.
There's no hatred.
Exactly. Now, the funniest thing is in the movie, the absolute funniest thing, and you'll see this in clips.
So what you're telling me, he doesn't talk at all.
He talks. He asks questions,
But
it's
it's simple. It's an improv go-to. It's yes and.
he yes ands everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he yes ands so far into pushing them into their own absurdity. That if you know who Robin DiAngelo is,
I've heard the name.
she wrote White Fragility.
All right.
So she tells you how you're weak as a white person and how racist you are, and all the ways that you can be not racist or actively anti-racist. That's her gig.
Well, I can't be racist. I'm multiracial, so.
Well, I'm a person of color, so I definitely can't be racist. You know, and it's offensive for you to call me white when I'm not.
True.
I am a fucking person of
You
color.
are peach.
I'm kind of mauve. I'm actually fairly orange, realistically. I'm actually pretty orange by nature.
When I hit chartreuse, call somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bad way to go. So
You're jaundiced.
Yeah. So he interviews Robin DiAngelo to see like how can he be actively anti-racist even though he's white. And she tells him all this other stuff, and she said, okay, a lot of it will come down to like microaggressions. So he says, oh, like what? Give me an example. It's like, well, over smiling or under smiling can be a microaggression.
Really?
At black people.
What if you don't smile?
Also, that's an under.
What if you don't smile at anybody?
It's a microaggression to everyone because now you're actively trying to make
at
it
that point,
equal.
you're an equal opportunity offender.
That's why you're racist.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Can't be racist if you're like
because
that to everybody.
in the act of trying to not seem racist, you're actually acknowledging your racism. That's the key, my friend. So
yeah, they have a great logic.
So
no matter what you say, you're wrong.
yeah. So he walks her through an actual exercise. He pretends to be a black person, and she is the woman who either smiles or does not smile at him. And he walks her through it. And as awkward as that is.
Yeah.
Then he brings in his black producer to talk to him.
Yeah.
And he decides to give his black producer his reparations and pulls all the cash out of his wallet and pays him, hey, here, I'm sorry about my whiteness and all this other stuff. And he takes the cash, and she's literally like, what's happening? Like literally, it's like she has no clue. Like,
Isn't this what you've been preaching?
Like literally, she gets so confused. Like she thinks it's a bit. It is a bit, but she is now stuck because he goes, well, aren't you going to say anything?
We just had this entire conversation about.
Yeah. So he eventually corners her into paying his reparations. Yeah. On camera. He got this bitch to fucking...
See, life gets so much better when you embrace who you are. I'm a dick.
Yeah.
I can change.
So what you're saying is you want to embrace dick.
If I have to, I guess.
You're telling me you want to embrace dick.
No, I want to embrace my dickness.
Oh.
I'm down with the dickness.
Well, I know what's going to be in the promo. Sorry, Mrs. Jeff's mom.
She doesn't watch anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
Well, you can't find the promos, apparently.
Well, poor mom.
The promos are too
I asked
expensive.
if she'd been listening, and she said, well, we were talking. Said, I listened one day, and you were talking about what other people call your business.
Yeah.
I was like, and I started running on them off. She said, Jeffrey, stop it.
Tell her to listen to the older episodes. It's far more offensive.
What got her was Craniacs.
Look, you said all that shit, so she's got no reason to be mad at me. I'm going to have your mom on the show.
Come on, that'd be great.
Without you.
Ooh.
Yeah. No,
Go for it.
I'm just going to talk to Mrs. Jeff mom.
Dude, I'm in.
Yeah. I'm going to ask her all the questions about young Jeffrey.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
She will be well prepared.
Yep.
Be nice or you're going in a home.
I'd be like, he's not here. Tell us all the things.
Actually, you'd probably have a really good interview with my dad.
Yeah, maybe. I've never even met your dad.
Marine captain, worked rental stores, owned rent-to-own stores, owned his own. And then at 40 years old, decided he wanted to be a cop.
I don't know. He might not take me seriously.
He takes everybody seriously. He's super nice.
Okay.
Always smiling, happy guy. He's like me, but nicer.
He's just always thinking about how to kill everyone is what it is.
No, he's way nicer.
As far as you know.
I'm the mean one.
No. He's got a chart somewhere with fucking strings. He's just waiting.
No, that's all up here.
He's like Dexter.
Nah,
He's got a secret murder.
Poor
lab.
guy. He was a peacetime Marine, so he didn't get to have any fun.
Oh, yeah. Poor guy. Mr. PTSD over here. Man, I wish my dad had seen all the violence I saw.
Actually, every time I talked to him while deployed or pre-deployment, post-deployment, he always said he was over there with me.
Yeah.
And Dad, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You really Didn't want to. I said, Dad, you dodged a bullet avoiding Vietnam. You dodged a bullet being too old to go to Desert Storm. No.
Oh, so he should be president then.
Yeah,
He's
right.
managed to avoid all these wars.
Well, he always said he was too young for the first one, too old for the next one.
Yeah, there's that weird peacetime gap where that happens. I mean, it's not that those guys can't be good leaders. It's just that people who had to live through the wars don't like it.
Pop would have been fantastic in the field. He's a great leader as it is, a great speaker, takes care of his people. I mean,
Oh, maybe I should talk to him then.
you should.
Maybe.
He'd be down.
Yeah, I'll just replace you with him. I'll ask him if he should put a turbo on it.
He wouldn't understand that.
No. Because be like, what are you talking about? It's like, exactly. Your son, he needs brain head. He needs his brain fixed.
I need my brain head.
Yeah, apparently. It might help. It might definitely help to have your brain head. Oh, speaking of which, actually, hold on. This was a conversation I was watching on Rogan the other day. He had on Robert Epstein. Sorry, not to cross that over.
He didn't hang himself.
No, neither did the other one. Oh. So, but he was talking about at one point he's talking about all the horrible things Google is doing to influence the world in the elections. Like, we have not actually had a free and fair election since 2012, specifically because of Google.
Yeah.
At least all the evidence they've discovered, because now they are monitoring Google. Like, Google's watching everyone do everything. They're watching Google. So the question is, who watches the Watchmen? This guy. So, but the other thing is, he had a very heady discussion about where your mind is, where your memories are. Because there is no physical evidence in the human brain of what we would consider memory. Nothing physically changes within the brain. Mm-hmm. But supposedly our brain stores this information. If you have a hard drive on a computer, there's physical evidence that it is storing memory. It has been used. It goes through changes. Your brain technically doesn't. I mean, yes, your brain will grow and whatever, all that kind of stuff. You'll gain a wrinkle. That's fucking lies. But you can see brain activity. You can see the brain doing things. But what he was getting at was this much bigger idea that our brain is a transducer of consciousness. Our consciousness isn't 100% here. It is not based in our body. Our brain is a two-way transducer between this world and the rest of the universe or multiverse or other dimensional layers. Like, they were talking about DMT and people who use that to go on journeys. A lot of them report very similar experiences, as though they're going to the same plane of existence and experiencing the same thing. Some people have literally said they've met each other from opposite sides of the world in a DMT experiment.
Oh, cool.
So what he's saying is our brain, and specifically the pineal gland, which is calcified on most people due to things we do to our body when we're young, is a transducer that connects us to a much more vast universe than we can perceive with our own 3 dimensions. So our memories aren't here. The only thing that happens, say you get, unfortunately, like banged in the head with something. Your brain gets fucked up. Your transducer can no longer receive the signals it used to. Mm-hmm. So maybe you forget stuff. Maybe you, foreign language syndrome or foreign accent syndrome. There's no good explanation for how the fuck that physically can happen to a brain. Mm-hmm. That you suddenly start talking in an accent you've never heard.
The brain's wonderfully ridiculous.
Yeah. So in his theory, I don't know where this came from, our brain, when people say that our brain is us piloting a bone mech with flesh armor, it's kind of right, but we're actually not in the mech. We're projecting into it. So our own bodies that we have right now, we're technically not born into, but we're anchored to.
Right. That's one theory.
That's a crazy thought.
I've heard another one I've been actually giving some thought to.
Keep moving to the camera.
I do. Some postulate that memory is at a cellular level. that our cells have what's called telomeres. You're familiar with those.
Yeah, those are things.
Those are things that degrade over time, and it's like making copies of copies of copies, and they get worse over time.
Well, it's because your cell can only divide so many times.
Exactly.
It can no longer do it.
Some people postulate that our memories and our consciousness live within our cellular telomeres. And because our brain fires so many electrical impulses so many times a second, that it's a interactive neural net with all the telomeres being linked. That's why as you age, your memory starts to go as your telomeres start to degrade.
Yeah. I mean, the physical body is falling apart, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. But there are people that I've known of who are elderly and they're literally as sharp as can possibly
Exactly.
be. Like, their body might be shit, but their brain is insanely sharp. And I bet if you study some of those people, I bet their pineal gland is still mostly intact.
Right.
Because that has been a big thing. So
What do you mean by calcified because of what you do as a young person? Like hair on your palms or?
no. There are certain substances that we put in our body, sometimes in food and water and other things like that, that cause the pineal gland to calcify when we are young. And the absence of said substance, oddly enough, doesn't calcify the fucking pineal gland.
Okay.
That's weird. But the pineal gland is right there.
On the tip of your hat, yeah.
No, yeah, well, it was. I'm not looking. It is center of the fucking forehead, just right there, in the in the middle of the brain. Some would say where the third eye is located.
Is that why when someone's pissed off, they just go boom,
No,
right on the forehead?
no,
Stop it! Quit being stupid.
no.
Kind of kickstarts that pineal gland.
Maybe it doesn't work. But no, a lot of people
Try,
think
come here.
that, a lot of people believe that the pineal gland is literally our third eye. The thing that in like Hinduism and a lot of these other religions, when you get into a Zen state, you can open that third eye and you start perceiving and seeing things on another level. That's where like a lot of older gods are drawn with an extra eye in the middle of their forehead. In a lot of Eastern philosophy, that's shown the same way. Things like that. People who have opened up the ability to see beyond normal reality have that third eye, and it's always center of the forehead. And that just happens to be where the pineal gland is.
And then some people, if you listen to them talk, you figure the third eye is on the other end of the body.
That is definitely that's definitely the brown eye for sure. But
That's a shitty idea. Okay.
Yep, I know where that one came from.
Yep.
But it is an interesting concept that we aren't here. We experience this life through our physical experience.
Well, we're a meat shell.
Yeah, we are a meat shell. We are literally a bone mech pilot.
Or what they call them, it's supernatural meat suit.
Yeah, it's a meat suit. Yeah, like I said, it's a bone mech piloting or with flesh armor.
Yeah.
Covered by denim. Denim. Yeah, but the idea that we aren't here, the information that is us, and they're talking about replicating the human brain or downloading the human consciousness.
Yeah. Good luck.
And he said, it's like, you can't do it because there's nothing to download from the brain. The brain is just a transducer. Unless you could directly connect to it and you had a similar transducer on the other side, you could transfer it from one spot.
Uploading your consciousness.
But you can't, you would have to change the destination is really what it comes down to.
See, honestly, say you're old.
Yeah.
About to go. Would you be down to transfer your consciousness into like a proper mech?
No.
Metal suit?
No. Why would I want that?
I don't know. It'd be fun for a while.
No. No, I've seen Black Mirror. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Not going to do that. Not even going to have like an AI recreation of myself.
What did it do? Drive him insane?
Mostly.
Yeah.
Well, either that or drives other people insane because it's not really you.
Yep.
Or the idea that you have no feeling because there's no
or even like
sensory
an
organs.
upload.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. Because they did that in a couple of different Black Mirror episodes. One was not into a mech. One was when you're dying, you could be uploaded into a virtual matrix, basically.
Yeah, upload, basically.
Yeah. So you live in this matrix once you die. And that's the only place you exist. Other people can access said matrix while being alive. But if you're there, ultimately it's because you died.
Yeah.
But you can be any age you want while you're there. Yeah. So that happens. There's like San Junipero. It's a pretty good episode. If you haven't watched Black Mirror, you should.
I have not.
Watch it. It's a very good show.
More Hefe's homework.
It's a very good show. But you got to know it's an anthology, so don't go looking for shit to make sense of or a giant storyline.
Oh, it's kind of like thrown together, kind of like Pulp Fiction. Just random stories kind of mixed in.
Yes, but there's no, but there is
loosely related.
So there is a YouTube channel that put together a timeline that made sense, and it's not in any particular order in the actual show, but you can see different eras of where this technology comes from. And then in the last season that they put out, season 5, there is an episode that shows you most of the different technologies that you've already seen in one place, meaning that this has been one timeline, but you've never known where on the timeline you are. But it goes from like post-apocalyptic stuff to totally social stuff to massive communist stuff to technological takeover stuff to literal end of humanity, all the way back to we have this cool little AI robot that is a copy of a person who's in a coma.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. But also, a guy dies, his grieving widow has his virtual self converted into an AI chatbot. So it analyzes your entire social media, your emails, your text history, anything and everything you've ever done online, period. Puts that together into an AI algorithm to replicate you. The first stage is just text back and forth, like it's just a text message from you. She says, okay, that's not enough. Then it turns into AI phone calls, which turns into, hey, the ultimate package is we have a clone body of your husband.
Right.
They'll walk around and interact with you based on whatever, and you can correct it when it makes mistakes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So the thing
Bad dead husband.
Yeah.
Bad.
Well, he does one thing that she really gets upset about, and then she says, no, don't ever do that again. And he changes immediately and never does that again.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a cool episode, and I believe that stars Haley Atwell, which I'm a big fan
Well,
of.
that's going to have to take a back seat. I'll get to it eventually. But I'm about to.
What 75 fucking season show are you watching now?
I'm about to acquire the entire MCU universe.
Oh, that's on Disney Plus.
Nope. Well, I have my reasons. I will not purchase Disney. So
Well-
I'm getting it on a thumb drive.
Well, somebody purchased it.
Somebody did. No. No.
No, it was purchased at some point.
Yeah. But anyway,
But does that include the TV shows? Because if it
Yes.
doesn't, you're going to be lost.
yes,
Okay.
it's everything. There's a list.
You know, if you have Hulu, you're paying Disney anyways.
Yeah, I know, but shut up, semantics.
Yep.
I'll show you semantics. But anyway, yeah, I found a list that shows everything in chronological order,
Yeah.
and I'm going to roll through it like that.
Yeah.
So that should take a couple months.
So that also always begs the question, should you watch something in the chronological order or should you watch it in release order? Because which way would you watch Star Wars?
Chronological.
Would you watch it episode 1 through episode 9?
I mean, I'd go with
Or would you go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, like it came out?
no. Well, if I were going to do a marathon, I'd start with the Anakin shit and roll through the stuff that come out in the 70s, and then the newer stuff afterwards.
See, I wouldn't. I would do release order for Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah. Because it retains the mystery.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if you're showing it to someone who has never seen Star Wars, Darth Vader's reveal in Empire is the biggest fucking thing that had ever happened in movies ever up
Yeah.
to that point. You robbed somebody of that by showing them the prequels first. They will never have the proper Star Wars experience if you show it to them in chronological order. It won't matter. As soon as you hear Luke Skywalker and you just know that Anakin Skywalker was that guy and now he's Darth Vader, and then you hear Vader and you hear Luke Skywalker and you already know the baby's named Luke, there's no mystery. You're just watching a fucking soap opera.
Well, then people shouldn't ask me to show them things. They have very poor decision-making skills if they do that.
Well, I'm telling you, this is how you should do it from now on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you show it to them. I won't.
Well, it's owned by Disney too. What are you going to do about that? Yeah. Don't show them the Acolyte, though. That's not worth showing.
What the hell's that?
That's that last show they did with the lesbian space witches.
Ah.
Yeah. That will hopefully be stricken from. It's like the fans, this is the one time I will agree with fans, like, yeah, we should strike that from canon. It's like
Like that did with the Doctor Who?
yeah, but
The fans just went, no.
real fans went no, but all the other people said yes.
Yeah.
We want more of the gay guy. Actually, I've not given the new Doctor any kind of due, but I don't want to watch the Disney era.
Right.
It's like, I think we learned a long time ago, Disney appropriating anything does not end well.
Nope. It's,
Don't show them the Acolyte, though. That's not worth showing.
well, then Bad idea, I said.
Okay, so here, this is another thing that happened. Just switching gears here, talking movies. We talked Inside Out 2 the other day, right? A couple weeks ago, we brought up Inside Out 2. Apparently, it has come out now. They de-wokeified it. Inside Out 2 had far more woke agenda stuff in it.
Oh, they went. This is going to cost us money.
Yeah. They actually turned it around. Apparently, they had a lot more gender and sexuality stuff, because obviously somebody going into puberty is probably going to have that. But it would have been, they have said literally, it's like, we have already seen the winds changing.
Keep it simple, keep it funny.
Now, I haven't seen Inside Out 2 yet, so I know there's got to be something in there, and I know there's clearly a character who's probably leaning that direction.
What, just the angst?
No, I don't mean an internal character. I mean an actual outside human being person. But I think, and so they actually altered the movie at some point in production to say, and let's actually, I think they actually said, let's make it less gay. I think it's literally what the person might have said. That's not a quote. That's what I saw, but that could just be somebody.
Yeah, it's now a quote.
That could be a filter that somebody put through it on their own shit. But it's like, not that things need to be less gay, but when you're talking about a young child growing up,
this is a kids movie.
Yes,
for preteens.
Yeah. So and you never saw Lightyear either, I assume. The Lightyear movie.
No.
Not Toy Story, but Lightyear.
No.
So it's actually the movie that the Buzz Lightyear toy was based on.
Was that voiced by Tim Allen?
No.
Of course.
Because they got rid of him because he's conservative.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, it was actually voiced by Chris Evans doing a Tim Allen impression.
Really?
And I think he did a really solid job. We reviewed Lightyear when it came out. I actually enjoyed the movie. It actually just got boring in the middle. It's mostly about space travel. Go figure. But it's kind of like The Martian in a way, because they get stranded on the planet and Buzz is trying to get everyone home safe by doing light speed jumps.
Yeah.
And the problem is, every time he tries it, he jumps ahead by a few years because he's theory of relativity. And so the friends he had whenever he landed are getting older and older, until one time he does a damn near light speed jump.
Kind of like Interstellar.
Yes. Yeah. So he does. Oh, yeah, that's much better than The Martian. Yeah, you're right. Interstellar. Well, I just thought about that. Yeah.
See, The Martian is one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
But I'm talking movies.
One of the few books that ever opens with, well, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I know. You told us that last week.
Great fucking.
Yeah. So either way, the part that people are pissed off at with Lightyear was that his best friend was a lesbian. And at some point they show her get married to another woman and they kiss one time.
Okay.
And then they have a daughter somehow. Well, I'm sorry. No, they have a son who eventually has a daughter. Time travel.
Okay.
You're moving forward through time. Mind you, there's lots of men on this base. It was a colony ship going to a new planet. They crashed on a planet they weren't supposed to land on. Planet's full of crazy shit. So Buzz is like, okay, I got us here. I screwed up. I'm going to fix this by getting us our light speed travel.
And in the meantime, people do what people have been doing for millennia and repopulating.
Exactly. They literally build out an entire home on this planet until the one time he comes back and everything is fucking wrecked. And it's like, the fuck happened?
Go around again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was animated incredibly well because it's full CG. Mm-hmm. The story was cool, and I was correct in my prediction that Lightyear was going to be the movie that Andy saw right before Toy Story began.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my prediction.
So it was a movie within a movie.
A movie within a movie. Now, what I wanted, and you can go back whenever we talked about this, way early episodes, probably in the 20s. The only thing I wanted this movie to have was at the end of the movie, we went super meta and it zooms out and it's a movie screen and you see Andy and his friends in the theater just having finished the movie and getting excited.
Yeah.
That would have been the best way to end that fucking movie, and they didn't do it. I'm like, it's right there. You at the beginning of the movie, you say this is the movie that Andy saw.
Yeah.
That started off the Toy Story movie. And I was like,
or him walking home from the movie and seeing the toy in the window.
No, actually having it zoom out so you see another movie theater on the screen. So go super meta. It's already meta. To say it's a movie in a movie, show them watching the fucking movie and having the same kind of reaction our theater just fucking had.
Right.
That would have been awesome. either way, Lightyear's nowhere near as bad as people blew it up to be. People were pissed about the lesbian kiss. Whoop-de-fucking-do. They're like, well, it's a kid's movie. It's like, it's not a kid's movie. It's kind of a kid's movie. It's in a kid's... It's the same way the Toy Story movies are a kid's movie when they're having existential dread at the end of Toy Story 3 as they're about to go into the fucking furnace and die.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, Toy Story 3, they're all about to fucking die. They're going literally into a fucking landfill furnace to be burnt to death. You see other toys going into the fire.
Stupid toys.
Yeah. And it's like a kid's movie. It's like the first movie is about existential dread and losing who you are as your identity because you built your identity around other people.
Well, that happened to Bambi straight off the bat. Mom died.
Yes. But it's like a kid's movie. It was for us because we were kids when it happened. But I guarantee you, adults who saw it also went, ooh. I remember when I was replaced in someone's life. It's like those movies were never they featured
some
children.
of those movies that were kids movies are so more now that you watch them again as an adult. What was that cartoon movie with the Brave Little Toaster?
Oh, that movie's fucking dark as hell.
Fucking A.
I've actually never seen it, but I've seen the
You
clips.
have to, man. You're gonna like it.
Hold on, I have a rule. I don't go back and watch movies that people loved as a kid because I didn't see them as a kid.
I didn't love it, but
I'm
it was
saying
dark.
I can't watch it as 8-year-old Shoki.
Yeah.
So it will never mean to me what it means to somebody who saw it when they were a kid. That's the problem. It's like me having you watch Robot Jocks.
That fucking sucked.
The movie's fucking awesome.
Giant ass balls.
That movie is awesome. But
like Bobby Singer balls.
if Bobby would love Robot Jocks.
Speaking of that, changes.
We're derail. Hold on. Don't derail just yet.
Damn it.
Hold your thought. Hold on to that
Come
thought.
back to Bobby.
Come back to Bobby later. But the idea is that there was backlash to Lightyear. There was a little bit of backlash to some of the other movies that came out after that, where there was some subversive stuff, and then there's like very like not subversive, like they're very obvious in the messaging in some of these Pixar movies. And then they get to Inside Out 2. They apparently went that way, and then they said, nope, backtrack. Is like, we're going to fix this. We're going to make this a bit more neutral. Just make it about the story. Don't make it about a message. It's like we're getting lost in the fucking thing we're trying to convey by trying to put this other nonsense in it. It's like, we're just going to get away from that for now. We'll test it out, see what happens. And then they make $1 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah.
There's a caveat to that nobody's talking about. And I looked this up to make sure. Do you want to know why Inside Out 2 made $1 billion fucking dollars?
Why is that?
It was in the movie theaters for 100 days.
Oh, so it had time to
All summer long.
marinate.
Yeah. You know what the average?
What, 6 weeks?
25 days.
Whoa.
The average movie,
So 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks, is the usual average for a regular ass movie. Now, bigger movies maybe probably go 35 days.
Yeah, Deadpool's still in theaters, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're doing, well, it already made $1 billion, so I don't know why they left it in theaters.
Because more people want to go back and see it again.
It's still really fucking
I
good.
kind of really want to go see it again.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people have seen it again. I didn't realize that.
I may catch a matinee tomorrow.
But see, when we went to the theater, it was still there. I was like, holy shit. And it was on one screen, but it was still there. There was another movie out. I didn't even know. There were 2 other movies out, but we were going to see what we saw. But the point is like, you leave a fucking kids movie in the theater all summer long, you're gonna fucking make $1 billion.
Right.
I don't care that you left out the message.
I don't know. To me, that's smart. That's smart business from the theater.
Yeah, sure. But it wasn't the theater who chose that. It was Disney who chose that.
But still, that's smart business to get your money back.
But they said because a lot of movies will be out in like 30 days, 35 days, and then within 40 days are on streaming, depending on it. Some of them are like 2 weeks. Thor: Love and Thunder was like,
which I'll see in like a month and a half.
a quarter of that movie is fantastic. And it's the quarter that none of the main characters
I'm going
are
to
in.
muddle through all of it in order.
Well, no, I will just say the best thing about that movie is the thing that is in the movie the least.
Really?
The rest of the movie is fucking horrible. It is fucking... They took 2 insanely powerful fucking stories from Marvel Comics and made both of them a joke.
Oh, good gosh.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, that part sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about fucking Marvel anymore until the next actual big Marvel thing drops.
Okay, move on.
But what I was getting at, speaking of Marvel, I'll bring it up. People say that Black Panther was this massive cultural shift and it made so much money when it was in theaters.
It was a fun movie.
Black Panther is a really good movie. Don't get me wrong. The CG is rushed and fucked up, especially in the final fight. But that thing was in the theaters for a very long time.
They had to get their money back.
And it also went back to theaters after being out for 2 months. They put it back in theaters to make more money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Most people forget that they put
We're still in debt. Put it back.
They literally put Black Panther back into theaters after it had been out. That's how crazy that movie was. It's like, yeah, no wonder it made like, well, I don't remember if Black Panther made $1 billion, but eventually it probably did. But it's like, but they also couldn't sell Black Panther in China. So they had to leave it in theaters.
Why couldn't they sell it in China?
China doesn't like black people.
They don't like the Baraka Panther?
No. Do you not know this?
No.
Oh, the Chinese are massively racist against black people. Massively. Speaking of, Star Wars Episode 7. You know, if you look at our movie posters, it's got all the main characters equal spacing on the fucking movie poster.
But no Lando Calrissian?
In China, they shrunk Finn down to barely existing on the fucking poster.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, literally. They showed the fucking things. It's like, they do not like these movies. Black Panther 2, also not sold in China. There was another movie, I forgot which one it was, that had a black lead. It should have been another giant blockbuster like that, and they had to leave him off the fucking movie poster over there to sell it. I was like, are you fucking... It's like, this is why you can't let China...
So why is the world mad at us? Why is everybody calling us racist?
Because it's okay when they are.
Of course.
I mean, they kill their own people because of the wrong religion.
Silly people.
Yep. Still would like to remind people that the Uyghur Muslims are basically extinct now because China doesn't like them.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering. They're still dead.
I'm going to be quiet on that one.
They're still genociding people over there.
Yeah, I'm going to be quiet.
Why?
Because
I'm not. I've been screaming about it since I fucking found out about it. And it's like, people need to understand that the Chinese government took an entire race of people from their homes, put them in camps, killed the men, raped the women, aborted any babies that weren't at least half proper Chinese, just to make sure that these are actual Chinese people in their country. But because they're fucking Uyghur Muslims.
Now, are they traditional Muslims or radicalized?
They're whatever that
religious fundamentalists.
They're whatever that sect of Muslim is in China.
Because I've got a problem with like Al Qaeda and the religious fundamentalists.
And I understand that, but I don't know that has nothing to do with why they're genociding them. They just want that. They're not proper main Chinese.
Yeah.
They said you're not Buddhist or not Buddhist, whatever. Buddhist?
They're not going as crazy as like Mao did, but they're still.
I mean,
rid of people.
Mao did the Cultural Revolution, which was pretty fucking crazy.
No, he went farther than that. If you wear glasses, if you know how to read, if you speak a second languages, if you're if you know advanced mathematics, you're gone.
That was cut down all the high grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tall flowers. Yeah, you got to get rid of all that.
Ridiculous.
Look at it this way. He wanted people to all be equally bad. This government just wants them to not be Uyghur Muslims to the point that they kill the men and rape the women to make sure they breed it out. That's a little different.
Yeah, but...
And they did it a few miles away from where the Olympics were happening.
Yeah.
In the Olympics, and when they filmed the Mulan live action, they thanked the security forces in China that were keeping the Uyghur Muslims camp safe from where they were filming. Think about that. Disney thanked the Chinese government for making sure those people they were genociding were out of the fucking way.
I don't know. If you're with a religion that states that
you got to drop that. You have to.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's a religion that says, "Hey, either convert people or kill them."
Yeah, but
that's your only option.
These aren't those people.
You sure?
They're in a completely different country.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
they're still Muslims.
Because you can be Muslim and not be that.
Okay,
it's like because this is a breed of people. This is a bloodline that they're extinguishing, not religious fundamentalism they're teaching away. It's like me going to fucking Afghanistan, killing every brown man.
Do you know if the Uyghurs were teaching?
It doesn't matter. They're extinguishing their existence.
So it's a people thing, not a religion thing.
Yes. They're wiping out their existence because they're different from other mainland Chinese people.
Yeah.
It's like us going to Afghanistan, killing every man and raping every woman until they're gone.
I don't know, 2,000
on purpose.
2,000 years of inbreeding will fuck up any country.
Yes, but it's like if we did that to anyone in our country on purpose, the world would have our heads.
Oh, yeah.
China does it, and everyone knows about it, and it's fine. It's like, I guarantee you, like, even though they are Muslim of some sort, they're not the kind that are out here fucking fighting you in the deserts of Afghanistan.
It's that same mentality that has the world turning on Israel right now.
Yeah.
It's bad. Let Israel do their shit. Let them handle their business. That's like you having a neighbor that says, hey, my only goal in life is the destruction of Shoki.
Yeah.
That's all I ever want.
Yeah.
And everybody yells at you when you
Yells at them.
Yeah,
for
yells
you
at them for
defending yourself.
themselves.
Yeah. Look,
So
well, here's the problem with anything that's going on with Israel and Hamas. That's their fundamental religious war.
stay the hell out
It
of
has
it.
nothing to do with us.
We don't need to be there.
No.
We don't have an opinion.
No one should have an opinion on that, but the people whose lives
Let
depend
them
on it.
figure their shit out.
Yeah. And mind you, in the same way, it's like, look, that is a war between two factions that split up thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different. Little bit different. Want to talk about Palestine being an open air prison? I don't give a shit about that. If the Israelites went over there, Israelis, whatever you want to call them, went over there, captured everyone, and started doing exactly to them what China is doing to the Uyghur Muslims
They would be stopping said threat.
forever.
Yes.
But the problem is the world would say something about it because it's Israel doing it.
Yes.
China does it. No one bats an eye.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like genocide is bad no matter how you're doing it.
Bad.
It's like, because if it was religious, you can teach that away. You can brainwash that away.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Religion can be taught away.
Look at Afghanistan. That's not going anywhere. It's only getting worse.
Because the people who are still in charge are still under the same concept.
Exactly.
But if you get rid of the leaders and you teach them different, you can change it. On a religious sect. We're not talking about killing them because they're a different religion. We're killing them because they're a different blood.
Yeah.
We want their bloodlines to end so that race of people, which it is a race of people, no longer exists. But we don't care. And we don't acknowledge it. And we thank the people who are doing it. But once again, the hypocrisy of saying, well, Israel's at war. It's like China wasn't at war with the Uyghur Muslims. They just decided to kill them.
I don't know. I guess it's our different backgrounds. I'm a little bit hard into a lot of this shit.
But that's Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah. Get out of their way. Let them do what they got to do.
Yeah. Which who? Whose way do you get out of?
Both of them. Stay the fuck out of it.
It's like, exactly.
You in, back down, let them do what they got to do.
But at least in that case, at least Ukraine was part of Russia. Well, a part of the USSR at some point.
And now we got Russia rattling their sabers, flying close to Alaska, flying into other people's airspace, being dicks.
So let me oversimplify this. China is doing to the Uyghur Muslims what Hitler was doing to the Jews. We literally went to war. The whole fucking world went to war to stop this man and what he was doing.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck that China's doing the exact same thing.
Then the world's fucked. It's a people problem.
Because they want China to be in charge.
I want China to back the fuck down and get smaller.
Well, that ain't going to happen.
No.
We're letting them have everything.
They're stealing everything. Anytime anybody goes into business with China, they're not only putting up their personal reputation, they are losing, whether they want to or not, any intellectual property they have.
Of course, you sign that over.
Well, no, it's taken, whether you sign it over or not.
You sign it over to them by just doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, that's ours.
Pretty much. Hey, I know you worked on this. I know you developed it. We're going to copy it and sell it for cheaper.
Yeah. That's all that ever happens. And now they have a lot of our technology.
Yeah.
Thanks to the fucking Taliban.
I don't know. This whole world police trying to monitor everything. We need to back down, nationalize a bit, fix our own fucking house, patch our own roof first.
There's only two solutions.
Well,
back down and put up our own walls.
Isolationism, which I'm for.
Or we wipe out everyone and we take over everything.
Screw it. I'm all for isolationism.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's only two solutions to the current problem.
Yeah.
Wipe out all our enemies in one fell swoop, or we back down and worry about our own house for a while.
Which we did back in the 40s.
Well, We wiped out very specific people who were a very specific problem.
We got lazy.
Yeah, we nuked Japan to greatness. Oh no, we made them a world superpower. We made a tiny island in the fucking Pacific.
Right.
A fucking world superpower. I mean,
we slacked off.
We did horrendous things, and I won't. I can't say anything that we didn't do.
I don't know. That was something so horrendous that it had to stop the war.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the war was pretty much over in most places except there.
Yeah.
And much like the Battle of the Bulge on the Eastern Front, very similar thing was about to happen because the Emperor said he was not going to fucking surrender until they hit the nuke.
Yep.
And then he said, well, they unleashed the fucking sun on us, and I'm supposed to be the son of the sun.
Look at that cloud.
We're going to quit.
A mushroom.
Yeah, well, they felt it. They didn't even have to see it. Well, they had already firebombed the fuck out of everything before they nuked it. Like, we were bombing Japan for a long time before we ever got around to that.
They were still using a lot of traditional construction methods. So everything was bamboo and tatami.
Everything was wood and paper. That's
Yeah.
why we burned the whole fucking thing to the ground. And then they rebuilt and we bombed that too. It's like all because they fucked with our boats.
Yep.
Don't fuck with America's boats. Listen to Nick. That's a cardinal sin of all of existence. So don't fuck with America's boats. We will literally sail across the fucking ocean to correct you.
Leave my bachelor.
Accidentally blow up a not so big ship in the fucking the sea over there in the fucking Middle East. We'll just wipe out half your fucking navy in one day.
Yeah. See, I'm having
because you fucked with us.
I'm having a really hard time being empathetic for all these people that want to raise hell.
Yeah.
And
but what do you do about the people who were literally peaceful, minding their own business, who decided to be killed?
They should have fought back. They lost that right when they gave up all their gun rights, when they gave up any of their rights to defend themselves.
You live in China. You don't really have
much
guns. It's like, oh no, you live where you've always lived, and someone comes in to kill you.
Yeah.
You know, someone who also lives where you've always lived.
Once again, another
like, let's just kill these people for no reason other than the fact you don't like them.
To stress the importance of our Second Amendment. That's why we have the Second
We don't need
Amendment.
that.
So our government can't come in and do that.
But the Second Amendment's racist.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because it says somewhere in there
but most
about killing people of other colors. I don't know.
But most of the guns are black.
A lot of them are. But we do have a lot of different colors now. Mostly browns. It's weird.
Blacks and browns. There's
blacks, browns,
very
tans.
few white guns.
Pinks. There's a lot of pink nowadays.
Can you think of any white guns? I got one in mind. Chris Vector.
I was just shopping for Glocks and I saw a white faded white Glock for sale. It was purposely painted that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're looking, I can help you find.
I was already looking.
Yeah.
I found lots of things. Either way.
Pawn shops are my friends.
No, I was going to buy it online from reputable peoples.
Pawn shop better. Cheaper.
Maybe.
I picked up a Gen 5 for $400.
I don't want a Gen 5. I want a Gen 3.
I'm partial to the Gen 4.
I like
with a different trigger in it.
I like the Gen 3s just because I like the finger grips on a.
Yeah.
About a Gen 5's got rid of that. I don't like that.
No, my Gen 5 is now my.
But I don't know what model I want.
My Gen 5 is now my duty piece. My Gen 4 is going into a chassis I'm working on.
Yeah, I know you told me about that. But I know we're switching to guns just for a second, but
no, that's my default.
Yeah. But the only reason I bring that up is because I was Glock shopping the other day. But I don't know what model I want.
Oh, when you're ready for a trigger, let me know.
I like the 17 and the 18 and the 23. I'm sorry, 17. Oh, I do like the 18, but you can't buy an 18.
I'd look at the 45.
I like the 40.
You like the 40 caliber?
I like the 23. It's really comfy. I shot it the most.
Well,
and it's really comfy.
The 45 is a 19 upper and a 17 lower.
How does that work?
Shorter slide.
17 and 19 are both 9s.
They are.
So how do you put a fucking 45 in that?
It's the Glock goes off patent numbers.
I know that, but you said you put a 17 and a 19 together. How do you change
Glock
it?
model 45.
You didn't say that. You said 19.
It's a short 19 upper.
Okay.
With a long 19 or 17 round 17 lower. Does that make sense?
Well, how do you get a 45 out of that?
That was their patent number. Is the 45?
You mean the 40? Okay.
The 45th patent.
It's a 9 mil, but a 45 model. Thank you.
Sorry, Glock guys always go off patent numbers.
Yes, but when you say 45, yes. So that's why I.
But anyway,
so
you get 17 plus 1 with the shorter draw out of the holster.
I'm kind of particular on how much the handle is, or isn't. I'm pretty, because my hands are a certain way and my pinkies are a little
Yeah.
It's weird. I shot enough guns to know when a gun is uncomfortable.
I'm an old machine gunner. I like maximum capacity, so I like
the capacity that I need, but is also comfortable enough for me to handle. Because if I've got 3 more inches that I don't need off the bottom of the handle, that isn't just extra mag hanging out.
Well, if
I can have the ridiculous mag, then I'm good.
Well, say my off-duty rig when I'm working my extra job, I have 90 rounds on me.
Yeah, I don't need that
at any given time.
I definitely don't need 90, but I do want something for extra just carry protection and something to teach Jessica on. So, but for me, like I've shot the 17, 19, and 23, and I like them all, but the 17 is a bit tall of a gun. Like the 23 is not a subcompact, but it is a slightly smaller chassis, even though it's a 40.
farm and shoot my son's pistol. It's the Taurus GC3, and it's a good, accurate little pistol.
But it's not a Glock.
No, it's not.
I want a Glock.
Okay, then get it.
Because I like Glock. I'm a big Glock fan.
Me too.
I like a big black Glock. It's hard to big black.
Want to hold
Glock.
that big black Glock in your hand?
I mean, if I can get one with like a 5-inch barrel, I'd be good.
It's a Glock 34.
34 is 5-inch.
No, it's got the long slide.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a beast.
Well, the funny thing is, I forget which model it was as I was scrolling through that shoots a 22 long rifle.
Yeah,
I forgot.
That's a conversion.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like whatever that particular model was, it's just 22
Well, you
long
can get
rifle.
22
like, that's
uppers
funny.
with the magazines that correspond.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that it was a model number.
Yeah.
I forgot which one it was. I think it was in the 40s, if I recall correctly, or 30s model number. But no, the 23 is a 40 cal.
Okay.
Yeah.
40 caliber's outdated.
I don't mind it though. But I like how it shoots because I've shot it a lot.
Then look at the 10 mil.
I don't want to get to 10 mil.
That's the 1 centimeter Glock.
Yeah. But I'd rather get a 9 because a 9 is so fucking ubiquitous.
It is, but I've already got a 9 mil carbine
40
pistol combo.
Smith & Wesson is also pretty ubiquitous.
Next year, I'm doing a 10 millimeter Glock with a 10 millimeter carbine. Because
you told me.
Well, who is it? The PCC, the Ruger. They just came out with the 10 millimeter in the PCC.
Sure.
So I'm excited.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind.
That's a hard hitting bear rated round.
I guess I wouldn't mind a 10 mil, but a 9 mil is super easy to come by.
It is.
And easy. And if I want her to be able to shoot it, I don't want anything stupid.
To be quite honest, if I get that built up, I'm going to 10 mil as my duty rig.
Okay. I don't care what you do.
Well,
that doesn't affect my wallet.
Yeah, but the ballistics are sick.
No, sure. Yeah.
Big boom, big boom.
Yeah. It's like I just want the one that has. I need to get the custom slide that has the optics mounted to it too.
It's called the MOA.
Yeah, MOA. Yeah, I want that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I just got a new reflex sight for my chassis, and I really like it. They got a Romeo and Juliet setup. It's a 6-hour reflex with a 3x magnifier in front of it. So that's now I'm going to get one from my PCC. I'm going to put one on my 4570 with a 5x magnifier.
I might have to delete this. It might be getting a little too nerdy.
That's my only nerdy bit.
Like this is going even. I mean, like, look, I'm not that educated. I know what I want and I know what I like. But I don't know what I can afford
That's
yet.
the only damn time I can start spitting
Look,
bars.
I got a lot of things to spend money on, and I need to make room for another gun.
Yes.
In that collection.
Or a gun.
I was trying to.
I'm
trying to
delete that. Delete
that dum-dum. It's like they don't need to know.
It's not my fault you're not prepared for anything, fucker.
I'm prepared for a few things. It's like there are lots of things around this house that can really hurt somebody that are hidden.
I have my rape whistle.
It's like those hurt when they go in your fucking. You wrap that around your knuckles and you punch somebody in the fucking eye with it. It hurts.
I could sharpen it for you.
You don't need to sharpen it. It's a fucking rape whistle. It's literally a cheese grater.
Tweet, tweet.
Fucking right into someone's eye. A rape whistle's really fucking good.
Help me.
See, nobody teaches the women to use the rape whistle to fucking hurt somebody. They need to.
Right.
You can either fucking swing it and whip them, or you fucking do what I said. You wrap it around your knuckles and you punch that motherfucker.
Screw it. Get you a freaking small sword, Gladius. Put a rape whistle on the handle.
No, when you swing. No, do it like a deer thing. It's like when you swing it, it whistles.
Right.
It's like, so that's how they know you're having an emergency.
And do those actually work?
What?
Those deer horns.
Oh yeah. You never heard them?
No.
You're deaf as fuck.
We had some on the Jeep.
I could hear that shit.
We had some on the Jeep, and it was too high of a frequency for me to hear.
Oh, maybe that's back when I still had enough hearing, because I had a friend who had one on his bumper. Yeah. And we're going down the road with the windows up. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise?
I did the harmonica.
Because I could hear it.
I did the harmonica thing to my old ops manager. Strapped it to his frame.
Yeah.
And it was just right. It never sounded until he took a turn at the right corner at the right speed.
Yeah.
So every once in a blue moon, he'd hear.
Yeah. fucking dick.
It took him 7 months before he figured out what that shit was.
No, my favorite car gag is wiring the horn to the brake lights.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because that way every time they hit the brakes, their horn honks. They're like, what the fuck is going on?
I've also been a fan of the screaming chickens being stuffed in the tailpipe.
See, I don't like that because that's just...
It makes me giggle.
It's super annoying. Plus, can be a huge pain in the dick to remove.
I'm going to do that on the motorcycle. I'm going to ride it.
Actually, what would be funnier is to put the horn on the turn signal. So it's like,
Yep.
as you try to fucking
Well,
turn.
didn't they do that in one of the last Grand Tours?
They,
Euro Crash.
they did terrible things to each other. Speaking of that, we didn't even get to that part of
Euro
watching.
Crash, man. They in his little HHR and Hamster's little HHR.
Oh, that's right. They did fuck with
He
it.
wired up the horn to the brake
That's right.
and then something else to the turn signal.
And,
Bells. Ding, 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 ding,
yeah,
ding.
that's right. Okay. So speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up because the Grand Tour has ended.
It's, yeah, at least as we know it in this iteration.
All I know is if they bring it back with other people, there's no fucking point to it of ever existing.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's just like Top Gear can...
No, there's 3 people that can save it right now.
No, nobody can.
Yes.
Nope.
On the adventure, Tanner Faust, Rutledge Woods,
Nope.
Adam Ferrara.
Nope.
Those 3 will save it.
Don't want it.
Don't care if you don't want it.
Don't
They will
want it.
save it.
Stop fucking ruining the legacy of these 3 men by bringing in lesser men to cover for
They are
them.
not lesser men.
They are.
No,
You know how
the
it's
Top Gear USA was fantastic.
What's that key word there?
USA.
Was.
Yeah.
Couldn't
They all
survive.
No, they went and did other shit.
Couldn't survive. Well, they could have brought on somebody else and keep it going like they
Yeah,
did with
true.
Top Gear.
Well, they tried again. It didn't survive. Those guys weren't funny at all.
Top Gear UK has never been the same.
Nope.
And yes, they got at least one good dude.
Have
in
you
there.
watched any of it? I haven't.
No.
No.
But apparently, I forgot the one guy, Chris, whoever. He was just on Rogan. He's a really good
I
car.
mean, hell, Matt LeBlanc was a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Joey, but not
All
as
of
a...
them were a mistake.
Yeah.
Never. You will never, ever replicate what Hammond, Clarkson,
it was
and
such
May
an
had.
organic chemistry that as organic.
Yeah.
But it was such an organic chemistry.
Did it again.
Fuck you.
Said it
Fuck
again.
you fat short fuck.
Fuck you, you fat tall fuck.
Less fat.
Still fat.
Less fat.
Still fat.
Anyway, their chemistry happened naturally. We watched it happen over years.
Over 20
years. It was
22.
part of our lives.
Yeah.
It was it's something we looked forward to every time there was a new season.
Yeah.
And they're playing off each other. They're back and forth. Their banter was always on point. It was always fun.
And even their fights.
Even when they were mean, it was always lighthearted.
Well, sometimes there were some legit fucking fights they had.
One of the best bits I saw when they were doing the insulation test, how well their vehicle's insulated. They were pumping helium in.
Yeah.
And to hear May and Clarkson talking with helium was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
But funnier yet was Hammond getting out, expecting the high voice.
Yeah.
And absolutely nothing.
Happened, yeah. So, just talking about the final Grand Tour, which was last one for the road.
It was epic.
I would so they basically
got
decided
back
to go
to
across Africa. Again.
They got back to their roots, having fun, being half cut most of the time, just goofing off.
Well, I don't think they ever went away from their roots. It just came down to whether or not they were focusing on the cars. Well, the thing is, none of their journeys were about the cars. None of these journeys were ever about the cars. It was about the journey.
Yeah.
Whether that was on Top Gear when they started it or whenever it was here.
I was very impressed they didn't do the whole big modification, lifted big tires, looking crazy.
I mean, they did.
Like
ever so slightly.
Like they did in Madagascar. That was entirely too much. But
that was way too much.
In Madagascar, yes, that was necessary. Because that friggin' Bentley not Bentley, the Rolls.
All of it was bad.
It fucking owned.
Yeah.
But
even the sand job was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're still recovering from the sand job. So here's the thing. So they decided to go across Africa again. This time
after Mr. Willman told them to do something different.
Electric cars. Yeah.
This is What's he going to do? Fire us?
Yeah. They knew it was their last go, but they're pretending like, maybe we'll come back in the morning.
Triumph Stag.
Uh-huh.
What is it? The Ford. Wasn't a Comet, was it?
No.
What was it? So I don't remember. It looked like a fat Mustang.
If you didn't ask, I would remember. I know it was a GXS. I know that.
Yeah, because they said it a million times.
Yeah, because it's not a GT. Well, the funny thing is, I said it was a Cortina, but it wasn't.
That was not a Cortina.
No, that was the funny part because they referenced a Cortina later. I was
And
like,
then
oh, that was
what was Hamster in?
He was in the
the
Ford.
And
May was in the thing, and then
Stag, and
Clarkson was in the.
that was a great car.
That was the not Alfa Romeo.
I expected him to roll up in an Alfa.
No, because I already knew that he wasn't because I saw it in the trailer. It was the fuck. I could see it in my head because it's not Alfa Romeo, but it's another one of those. And it's an extremely unreliable brand.
Yeah, give it a minute. But in the meantime,
Give it a minute. Google doesn't take a minute. Google's instant.
Ford Capri.
Nope. Oh, that's what Hamster was.
Hamster was in a Ford Capri.
That's right.
And
Which is effectively a small sports car.
it looked like a fat Mustang to me. Trap Stag, Ford Capri, Lancia. Because they had the song Monte Carlo.
That's right. Yeah. No, Lancia was what I couldn't remember. Monte Carlo, and then he fused it with a couple other cars. So he modified his to begin with.
In the NA market, it was called the Scorpion.
Yeah. So it actually he modified it with different headlights, different grill, different, like Ferrari taillights.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with it. And Recaro seats. And
That was a neat little car.
yeah. But it was just like,
But man, they basically recapped some of their greatest adventures in one episode. From running across the desert to bad fucking roads to making trains out of their fucking cars.
that was the only part that was clearly rehearsed.
Yeah. And then the boat.
Yeah.
The floating bar was great.
What I thought was funny is they even argued, they're like, we're not doing the fucking floating vehicles thing again. It's like, well, we got all this money. Let's just buy a boat. It's like,
Yeah.
and you know, the funny thing is people don't give them enough credit.
Because,
For
yeah, it would have been too much if they would have tried to do the amphibious cars again.
yeah, considering they had 180 kilometers to go.
175.
180 all the same. depends on if they didn't wander too far out in one direction.
Right.
They're going across water. That can
But
get
yeah, that shrimp boat
that was
they had was
horrible.
loud as fuck.
Yeah.
Just a single cylinder diesel. Da, 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 da.
But it kept up. I don't know why they didn't just strap. I don't.
And he had to live in headphones.
Yeah. Why didn't they literally just strap the three of them together and just run at the same time?
They did for a drink.
For the drink, they could have just done that the whole journey.
And all three engines going.
Yeah,
Because
it's
no
all-
one wanted to listen to him to amaze the.
They could have turned his off
Yeah.
for that motor. But either way, no, it
But
was
that would have been horrible
Yeah.
because Hammond started sinking.
not if he had two other boats strapped to him, he wouldn't.
He would only sunk a little.
It sunk only a little. But no, the thing is that like at the beginning when they first said, you know, this is our last journey, let's go, I started tearing up.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't tear up at all. But I did look back fondly at some of the hours and hours of entertainment, laughs.
Yeah.
Looking back at some of the specials, Patagonia, Vietnam, the Polar special was insane. That's probably one of my favorites.
They didn't even reference that one.
It was because it was Top Gear, not the Grand Tour.
The African one was Top Gear.
Yeah, true, where they started.
They referenced Vietnam, also Top Gear.
But the Polar special is probably my favorite of them all.
I guess
Well, to me, it is.
Vietnam I thought was better.
What on the scooters?
Yeah,
That was funnier as shit.
that was way better than the Arctic one.
The
Arctic one got cold real fast.
Then what was the one where in Africa they're doing the fish where Hammond kept falling over, crashing his motorcycle?
I don't think that was Africa. I think that was
That was Africa.
no,
Somewhere in Africa.
Asia, closer to Asia.
No.
Yep.
Anyway, they started at the ocean and went to an inland tribe.
Yeah.
It was Africa.
That wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Don't argue with me.
I will, because you already fucking forgot that things were Top Gear. Half of the things they referenced were from Top Gear. But here's the funny part. So the end of this special
but as a
ended at the
fan,
border.
It's hard to differentiate the two because it's still the same guys. It's still the same feel.
Exactly.
It's still the same show, essentially.
Well, it was when they did this.
Yeah.
These specials were the same show.
Yes.
Obviously, the Grand Tour had to differentiate itself enough so that Top Gear didn't sue them. And then they ended up just basically being Top Gear again because Top Gear was failing and or completely had to be shut down.
This time, Clarkson actually got to say farewell on his own terms.
You got to say farewell before.
Yes
Eventually.
and no. When he was
Well, he didn't get fired.
when he was removed from the tent when they stopped doing the tent show, that was his way to say goodbye because he didn't have a chance to when he left the BBC.
Well, he should have said goodbye on episode 1.
Yeah, true.
He'd be like, "Bye, everybody. Now I'm back."
Because it was
that would have been actually funny.
So weird after that story broke.
Yeah.
And then you saw we
talked about it
the
before.
final episode with just him not there.
Yeah, we talked about it here before. The final half-ass episode because
Yeah.
they literally didn't finish production on it because, and then Clarkson and May said, "No, we're going with him.
Yeah.
We would like our severance package, please."
But he got very emotional at the end when they stopped doing the tent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he lost
His daughter was sitting there, standing in the front row, crying.
Yeah, one of them, anyways.
Yeah.
But I think I think he only has one daughter, one son. I could be wrong.
I don't think I've ever seen the son.
I'm fairly. Yeah, he definitely has a son.
Well, he's smart to keep him out of the public eye.
Well, his
as
daughter
possible.
is a public thing on her own now.
Yeah.
Because I follow her on Instagram. She's having a very tough second pregnancy.
Uh-oh.
Like real bad. I forgot the thing that she's going through. It's a 3-litter thing, and people think it's not real because it just seems like extreme pregnancy problems, but it's an actual like disability. So she's had to fight with it, anyways. No, so the thing is, like they drive across Zimbabwe, right? I'll just make sure I got the right country, because they butt up against another one by accident. Whoops. I accidentally went 400 miles in the wrong direction because I can't fucking read a map.
Yeah, they had to hit a river and go that way.
Sure, that's what happened. Look, nobody gives them credit for their acting. Ever.
Yeah.
It's like all of this shit is planned. It's like they're like when things like directly go wrong on camera, they can't fake that because accidents or things falling apart.
Or when they start cracking each other up and they are proper laughing. Yeah, that's not planned.
No, that's not planned. But all of the events that happen are planned. You know, it's like, oh no, we ended up at a place where we have to use boats.
Talk about unplanned when they did when May crashed that STI. Or not the STI,
Evo.
the Evo.
Yeah, no,
that was not planned at all.
No, that was bad.
That was complete shock at everybody.
Yeah, he got hurt. But still talking about this special for the moment. So they basically just driving one side of the country to the other because that's what they do in Africa. They basically just try to get out of one country and get to the other, and see all the cool shit in between. Like the idea that they were like,
Victoria Falls was awesome.
No, I love the fact that he's like, if I look over here, it's one of the most beautiful valleys I've ever seen. If I look to my left, it's Ireland. it's like literally, it's like you can see, he's like driving through this African country. It's like, oh, look, we're just going to go ahead and cover like the most beautiful areas of other parts of the world in one country.
Yeah.
It's almost like New Zealand. Where
the whole pine forest up there is awesome.
the weird pine forest in Africa. It's like, yeah, I don't think that's natural. Somebody brought that shit there.
Right.
Must have been an African swallow.
Well, they could have deciduous trees there.
Might have been a European swallow. Brought down some pine seeds.
Yeah. Was he laden?
Well, obviously, he brought seeds. But it's a European swallow, so it can't carry as much as the African swallow.
True.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, just the idea that you got to see a culture and you got to, well, not that much culture. You got to see some of the culture because the one thing they didn't do was rough it anywhere.
No.
There was no camping in your vehicle.
They were glamping.
There's 4-star fucking hotels
And when
in the
they
middle
set
of
up
nowhere.
a tent, they were damn nice tents.
Yeah, they said they were going to be tenting, and then they didn't. They ended up in a fucking hotel anyways.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. I mean, I'm sure there's mosquito nets and shit or whatever, or tsetse fly fucking nets, because that's a legit problem.
Yeah, freaking black flies just raising hell.
Well, no, the one that lays fucking, it's babies in your brain.
Yeah,
That's the tsetse flies.
Yeah.
That's why they had to wear the white shirts.
There's also the bot flies over there.
Bot flies are bad too. But either way, it's for the same reason. But that's why they had to wear the white shirts, because they were repelled by white and
then,
they're attracted to black.
The mango worm infections and all that.
Yeah, we don't want all that.
Oh, that's bad. Have you seen the dog videos of the dogs?
Don't even want to.
Ooh, that's bad.
Don't even want to think about it. Don't even want to think about it. So I mean, realistically, it was fairly uneventful because, I mean, other than the wrong person breaking down all the time. Well, I guess it's not really the wrong person. Hammond generally breaks down a lot, but the fact that May broke down never is insane.
In a Stag with the original engine.
The fact
without the Rover engine in it.
People swapped in the Rover V8. But the idea that they gave him hell for the car that he chose because they said it was going to be wrong. He's the only one who had an active convertible the whole time.
Yep.
Clarkson had a Targa top, a weird folding Targa top.
That was an origami top, man.
Yeah, it took
25 minutes.
25 minutes if I could fold that thing just to get it right. But I thought, like, So just watching at the beginning, I cried a little bit because I realized this is the end of this journey. Then I watched most of the show because it was like hour and a half, something like that. No problem, just enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
And then they get into, what is the fucking...
What, the salt pans?
No, when they got to the other country, what is it?
Bosnia.
Not Bosnia.
Botswana.
So they cross into Botswana because they said, hey, wait a minute. We're supposed to end this show at the border.
Yeah.
But we're only a handful of miles from where we literally started doing these things in Botswana. So they said, fuck it, we'll go there. So they go to the same small town.
And then they
discover their cars.
At least two of them.
Well, Oliver's is fucking England.
And fully restored. And,
twice.
Yeah.
So Oliver is the only one that didn't stay in Africa because Hammond brought him home because Hammond legit buys all his old cars.
They find Clarkson's car.
And then they find May's car right behind it.
And they notice that the doors were on it.
Yes.
Because they pulled them off to get across the Macatacuddy?
To get to the Macatacuddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lighten their load so they wouldn't break through the salt.
Yeah, sand. It wasn't salt.
Anywho's.
It's a dry lake bed.
Yeah, but anyway, they did that.
Yeah.
And apparently the bush mechanic,
the guy that
went back and got the doors and put them back on
for all the vehicles because Mays is a 4-door, and they went in and he basically repaired them.
He said it even smells the same.
Yeah, but the crazy part is, and this is how you got to wonder: is this planned or not? Because Clarkson
was emotional as fuck.
Okay, but the thing he brought,
yes, the light,
the headlight.
Well, he says he brings it everywhere.
But how do we know? How do we know he actually...
think Clarkson would lie to you, lie to me, lie to everybody?
They lie the whole show.
Of course they do.
So the question is, there's no way they fucking knew those cars were still there.
Yeah.
20 years, not more than 20 years, 15 years later.
I don't know. When he stopped, that looked like genuine shock to me.
Once again, we don't give them credit for their acting.
They are good actors.
They're very good actors. But it's like the fact that apparently somehow, I guess Hammond must have gone through in the dark. Because he didn't show up to the campsite till way later. Yeah, he broke down for hours. But he would have driven past that.
That was a rough one, too. That was a bad one.
But he would have driven past that same point, but
it was in the dark.
Likely in the dark. But you're telling me nobody told
remember
him?
They were camped up and he tried to get up on the hill and he couldn't make it?
Yeah. Well, remember that, like, they have at least 3 camera cars with them. At least 3. Yeah, possibly 5.
Did you see the end credits? That was a massive crew.
Yeah. Well, also because they probably brought in a lot of the Top Gear crew that wasn't with them anymore to finish up this thing. So
it looked like a big party on that little island.
Yeah. So the fact that they decided to end where it all began, and they drove out to this island in the middle of what is at the moment a desert, and they recreated all of those shots.
The Hammond putting his hand on the tree,
the same way
and
they
then
walked
the flashback.
up.
Oh man, it was awesome.
By this part, as soon as I knew they were gonna, sorry, I'm already getting emotional. As soon as they knew that they were going to recreate the ending of that, I started fucking crying.
Oh, really?
And I cried all the way through the credits.
I didn't get emotional through it.
Because you're a fucking robot.
I am not a robot.
You are
I'm
a robot.
realist. That these guys are getting older. They've said in the last couple of them, even on the.
But here's the thing: when did you start watching them?
God.
When did you actually physically start watching them?
16 years ago.
Okay, so that was when? 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started watching Clarkson in 01.
Well, I discovered.
Sorry, 02.
I discovered it.
Yeah. So
and then I caught up on the back catalog, and as they came out, it was big for us. My son, my stepkids, my wife, we all enjoyed the hell out of it. That had us laughing for years and years.
So, I mean, the only,
yes,
for
yes,
me,
it's sad they ended. Yes, we had a lot of great memories, but those guys are getting so old.
But
they kept trying to go for years. One of them will die on one of those adventures.
Yeah, it'll be.
And that's the last thing they want.
It'll be Clarkson because he looks horrendous.
Or friggin' Hamster because he's an idiot.
No, it will 100% be Clarkson. Did you see how he was in horrible shape?
And he was fat as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, his belly was bigger than I've ever seen it.
Yeah, and he had like he had 3 chins.
He spent far too much time sitting in a tractor and drinking his beer.
Literally. Yeah, he looked horrible, but he got through it. But the point is, I mean, and I made a post about this. A lot of my modern car love comes from these guys teaching me about cars.
Well, and it's knowledge of cars that I don't have any access to.
Yeah. But like like these 3 guys in one form or another have been a part of my life since 2002.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching Top Gear because we didn't have access to it, but I was downloading chunks of Clarkson's separate videos he did. Even back then. And eventually I started downloading the whole specials that he did, where he's just like playing around with fucking supercars.
Yeah.
Like one of the very, very first things I ever saw, because I knew what the McLaren F1 was. And I just looked for on the internets before Google was a thing, before YouTube was a thing. And I found this short video of him doing a drag race. And I mentioned this here before. And the line that hooked me all the way the fuck back then.
Power.
No. It said, what we're going to see here is the difference between a really, really fast car and the McLaren F1. Because it was an R32 Skyline. And so it's like...
That voice, and the McLaren F1.
Yeah. So so he was doing the McLaren F1 tests, and he was seeing how fast it was down this runway compared to a Skyline Jag. No, an R32 Skyline GTR.
Oh,
so,
fun.
Yeah, so they're seeing the difference. The Skyline took off immediately because of the all-wheel drive traction, but not a second later, the fucking McLaren's just gone. And then they wait. That did that with my...
Do it again.
That was weird. That was timed with my drumming of my fingers, but there's no way I could...
I told you it was your fault.
The light is over there. There's no way.
I take back nothing.
I literally have no control. Either way, I'm starting to think you're doing it now. Why is my hat not... I think it's the headphones are fucking up my head. But no, it's just, for me, it was an emotional ride because, like, I got really upset when they canceled it the first time. When they fired Clarkson, I was fucking beside myself. Fucking...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude. Like, because I was watching Top Gear.
I guess I don't get that emotionally invested in the stuff that's on TV.
I do. Because, like, it once again, it's been a part of my fucking life.
Well, like, because you have, like, friend.
Yeah. Well, I also, I don't have PTSD, so I don't separate from things.
No, true.
Yeah. I mean, I do in other cases, but in this case, it was literally like watching fucking family members. Because outside of that, watching Hammond stuff, watching May's stuff on the side, even before like they got the Amazon deal and all that, they all had TV shows separately from this. So, I mean, I've watched these guys grow old.
They have gotten older.
Look at it this way. Hammond was younger than you and I are right now when he started on Top Gear.
Yeah, he was babyface.
He was in his fucking early 30s. So he started Top Gear. I mean, James May was roughly our age when he started.
Yeah.
He was probably like 38. You got to think about that. It's like we have watched these guys through half of our lives. That's crazy. Like you got to think.
Is
so
kind of nuts.
Remember when Walter Cronkite retired? How many fucking people from our parents' generation were probably visibly upset when literally the voice of the nation fucking went away? So, I mean, this is the voice of because they are the keystone of automotive entertainment for
I'll agree with
decades. Like other shows without Top Gear.
They tried Fifth Gear.
Yeah. So, Fifth Gear was never as good.
Top Gear Australia.
Top Gear Australia is back and the only Top Gear that's currently running.
Is it better?
I don't know about better, but it might be because Moog's on it.
No, but...
Why are you breaking my fucking...
Because it fell apart.
Because you were fucking with it.
I'm fixing it.
You can't fix it. You broke the spring off.
No, it is not broken.
It literally snapped off.
No.
It was already broken. That's why that was on there.
I'll fix it later.
You broke my fucking nippers.
No, I didn't.
You literally did.
Give me a minute.
I told you last week to not break my stuff.
Give me a minute.
You can't fix it. You literally can't.
I will fix it.
Nope. Either way, so none of the car shows that exist today would exist without Top Gear. Not the way they exist.
I agree with that. 100%.
Roadkill came to fame because they watched Top Gear.
Roadkill is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so half of Roadkill's idea is literally what Top Gear was doing in 2010.
But with cheap bullshit cars.
Hello. They had the cheap car challenges.
Cheap and cheerful, yeah.
Cheap and cheerful, cheap car challenges. All that cheap and cheerful, I think is what we called it. There was the cheap car challenges. But all of that shit, that is all because of Top Gear. Fucking Mighty Car Mods would not exist without Top Gear.
Yeah.
I mean, barely. Like, they probably would have still figured out eventually. But without automotive presenters to show you an idea of how to be on camera, talk about cars, have fun, and be stupid, and edutainment.
Edutainment?
It's edutainment. because you learn while also being entertained. You might learn the wrong thing.
Or was it infotainment?
Edutainment.
Okay.
Because it's just none of the shows that we love now that exist in the last 10 to 15 years would exist without fucking Top Gear.
I agree.
Existing 15 years before that.
Yeah.
Because we're not even talking about original Top Gear. Original Top Gear was on in the fucking 90s.
And it was boring as shit.
Yeah, because they had boring fucking...
It was just
presenters.
consumer reports.
Basically, it was like Motor Week.
Yeah.
But then Clarkson came in. They brought in Clarkson to literally revamp Top Gear and bring it back like 2 years after it ended the first time. So it ended in like 99. They brought it back in 02. Still broken.
It was broken when he handed it to me.
Well, you shouldn't have broken it more.
I unbroked it.
Sure you did. Either way, but it's just like that's what it was for me. It's like any long okay, when fucking Supernatural ended, that was 15 fucking years. Mind you, some breaks due to random shit.
Yeah.
Contract
Writer
problems.
strike, shit like
Writer
that.
strike, contract problems. And it ended badly, but they ended the best way they could, given the fact COVID was fucking raging and they had to work in Canada.
Right.
They ended it the best way they could. I was fucking absolutely in tears because I grew up with that show. I grew up with Top Gear or Grand Tour.
See, I've never had that visceral reaction to a show ending. I never. There's a book series I really enjoyed. I went through 8 or 9 of them, and it ended. I was really invested in it, and it ended one day. I was on 45 driving right by downtown Houston, and it ended, and I'm staring at traffic going, well, now what?
Well, that's where I'm at.
What do I do now? So the rest of the day, it was silent, and I had nothing playing, nothing going. I was just quiet.
Yeah. So I started my first 3 hours, because it took me 3 hours to get through it.
Thank you, Mark Tufo, for writing a great series.
No, I don't know what that is. But no, it took me about 3 hours to get.
You wouldn't do it. You'd have to read.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like reading. So it took me about 3 hours to get through the whole episode because I was doing other stuff, doing dishes, made breakfast, other things.
Yeah, I had 2 installments of it myself.
Yeah, but I paused at parts that weren't that crazy. And then after that, I needed to cheer myself up, so I watched Kill Tony, Madison Square Garden 2.
Yep, watched that yesterday.
Which was not different to part 1. It was the same shit.
I don't know. I think
people.
part 1 was a better episode.
I would argue
Part
that.
1 was much better.
I think there was still hilarity, but he also was trying to cram in even more legends and even more regulars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was on a speed crunch. He was
They
bam, bam, bam,
did
bam,
like
bam.
8.
We didn't have the interview thing going.
as many.
Because, hell, half the time the interviews are way more entertaining than the minute.
Yeah, that's the point. But here's the funny part. Because the regular episodes are now ahead of it, Pauly Shore came on to visit.
The whistle.
So he came in to visit Kill Tony, and it was the week after Madison Square Garden.
And they were talking
So
about
he
it.
was talking shit to Michael Gonzalez for not giving him a rim shot when he made a joke. So either way, because he's trying to get more into doing stand-up again, that kind of
He
stuff.
needs to get
Pauly
better.
Shore.
I say get better at it. I've never thought his stand-up was funny. That's a personal preference.
I never thought, well, I mean.
He was always kitschy. It was always him.
Yeah.
Him as an individual doing interviews,
Yeah.
talking to the people, goofing off. That's outstanding. He needs to do more of that. He needs to become more of a storyteller,
Well, he is.
comedian, instead of acting like an idiot telling stupid jokes.
Well, I think the problem is that he probably is a storyteller, but not a 1-minute joker.
Exactly. So
He doesn't fit the Kill Tony
he's
format.
got stories. He's got so much stupid shit he can
Yeah.
get into.
Well, eventually they're going to make a movie
Really.
about him and his brother and the Comedy Store. Tony, if you watch the episode, they
See,
talk
I don't know what the contention of him and his brother's issue is right now.
nothing now, but there was contention.
Okay,
Because after the parents died.
Give me
and
the
they're-
Cliff Notes, yeah.
I'm trying. You keep asking me questions about the Cliff Notes as I'm trying to tell you.
Well, give me the short version.
There is no short version. I got to tell you the version.
No, the short version.
No.
No, shut up, talk.
Yeah. Shut up and listen. No, so Tony told Pauly years ago that he wants to do a documentary about the Comedy Store, how it came to be, about the family and how they were basically like the first family of stand-up comedy, because without the Comedy Store in LA, it probably would have died.
Yeah.
Way back when, because they also tied Hollywood into it to bring comedians to Hollywood and vice versa, bring actors into being comedians. And it was really the forefront, not to mention the fact that the show got started there, but
Yeah, and
there was drama.
in the tiny little 30 seat room.
Yeah, they were in the little room, whatever it was called, but the belly room. because I think the Comedy Store has 3 rooms: the OR, the belly room, and another thing I forgot what it is.
The secret room?
No. There was drama though between Paulie and his brother because it came down to, I guess, who was going to get / manage the Comedy Store after Mitzi died, because obviously it was Mitzi's deal, and Paulie was obviously a wreck for a long fucking time due to drugs and alcohol and everything else from the fucking 90s, basically. Brother, not so much. So there was a lot of fucking stuff that went down, and he didn't talk to his brother for years and wasn't involved in a lot of stuff. But apparently he said that, look, we patched things up. We're good now. And he literally asked Tony's like, when are we going to do this fucking documentary before we die? Nobody's around to tell the fucking story. And he's like, as soon as I'm done doing these multi-million-dollar specials in arenas, I'll find fucking time. I mean, he's got the money. He's fucking Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh, he's still making more.
Yeah. But the point is, he's literally, at that point, had still been planning out all these arenas for 2 years straight.
I don't know. I think he's really, when they settle back down to doing the regular show at the mothership,
Which they have.
I think he really enjoys finding new talent and furthering them and putting more people out there.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can tell Tony really, I'm not going to say gets off on it, but it brings him so much joy.
Oh, he does. He's jerking off.
To find somebody like Cam or
Oh, he loves Cam.
or Lucas.
You know what? You know why he loves Cam?
What's that?
Makes him a lot of fucking money.
No shit.
Like, he started bringing Cam on the road with him the second week of him existing.
You see his YouTube stuff? Cam does white people stuff?
Yeah. Cam and the Whites?
Yeah, Cam and the Whites.
Cam and the Whites
That
is
was fun.
hilarious. But he hasn't done that many.
Every time he says, I like rocks.
Yeah, he's only done a couple of them. But the idea that, like...
Now, how's David Lucas and the fishing with David Lucas?
It's fine.
Okay.
He had to work on the production end of it because he had some real bad fucking camera angles.
He needs to get with AO Fishing and use some of their camera rigs.
Well, he's not on the water. He's on a bank.
Oh, still.
So a camera's a camera is a camera. Problem is the audio. He's just using fucking lapel mics. Problem is that when you're close enough together, both mics pick you up, and then you play that together because your editor sucks, and you get echo between the two. So I'm going to buy some of these things for whenever we're shooting in the kitchen, and I don't have to fucking worry about pulling out microphones, and we can just be mic'd. I will.
Good, then we can do fun stuff at farm once you get that.
Maybe. I like how you just want to usurp my technology for you.
No.
Yeah,
we do fun stuff together at farm.
When's the last time I was at the farm?
Been a minute. I've been busy.
About 8 months ago.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Yeah, because you haven't invited us up.
Well, I've been working 2 fucking jobs.
You're at home sometimes.
Yeah, sleeping.
Yeah. See? No.
My 1.5 nights off a week.
Yeah, exactly. But no, legitimately, like with David Lucas, like he just needed to improve that and work on the actual camera angles because some of them were just terrible. Because he's starting to shoot in a very small bank of area, and then he shifted a couple spots. Like he rented a fucking house to fish from for a little bit.
Okay.
Just to have some isolation. But
where
then
are they fishing at? One of the lakes?
Lady Bird Lake.
Okay, yeah.
Or Lake Austin, quote unquote. And the show's fine because they're literally just sitting there in lawn chairs. The other person usually is not good at fishing or has ever done it. So David's got and if you don't know enough about David, he actually grew up on a fucking farm in Georgia. Yeah. So I mean, like he's the country bumpkin.
Yep.
For the most part, raised by his grandparents at some point.
There it goes again.
Yeah. But that felt like it was coinciding with the AC. Either way, it doesn't matter. Either that or it's when somebody comes up the stairs and it's fucking vibrating it. By the way, if I'm in here, I know when you're here.
Really?
Yeah, because the stairs are right there.
And I make some noise?
Anybody does. Like, you'll hear the detolf rattling when somebody's
so you're sitting there going, I'm down there going, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, fat ass. Either way.
Bullshit.
So
I'm like twinkle toes on my fat fucking feet.
You're still fat. Doesn't matter. The stairs suck that bad. That's why. It's not about you being fat. It's the stairs suck that bad.
Yeah, there's too many of them.
There's only 40. Jessica counted. So either way, no, David's fishing podcast is fine. He needs to work on interviewing a little bit, but he's getting better. He hasn't done it in a while. Like I said, he was on tour. He does want to get a pontoon boat so he can just do it from a fucking boat. Yeah. But he doesn't have that kind of money because he's investing in property and everything else. Because right now he just has an apartment and he wants to buy land in Austin. But he's got family property in Georgia.
All right.
So he's got babies on both coasts.
Oh, dear.
He's got a kid in Florida and in California, so he splits time between being at something called home and taking care of his babies and baby mamas. Yeah. He's real smart. It's like he impregnated 2 women at the wrong ends of the country.
Yeah,
while on tour.
Let's not further the stereotype.
And he's a good enough dad, like, to be fair, and he puts his kids in fucking private school because now he's got money. Because he was with Tony years ago.
When's he going to step out for milk,
Yeah, right. He's never with them. He's always out for milk. He comes back to visit occasionally, like twice a month. He comes to visit his kids. Either way, like what he usually will do is he'll fly one to the opposite coast, and like that way he can have both kids at the same time on the weekends, something like that. Take him to Disney World, Disneyland. Either way,
take him fishing.
Yeah, but he said he doesn't have a problem with the way he grew up, but he wants his kids to grow up better.
Yeah,
and he has money. I mean, he came from money.
Well, I think that's what any of us with kids want. I tell my son, my goal is to make you more successful and better than I am. I think that's any father's goal.
My kids just won't have anything.
What kids?
Whenever they happen. Yeah, I'm so good at depriving my children. They don't exist yet.
You're really neglecting.
I'm neglecting them. I'm pre-neglecting my kids. It's like, shut up, I gotta go at it. No, it's just, but no, what Tony did with this arena tour over the last year. So it started last New Year's.
Setting world records for podcast attendance.
Well, I mean, he's the only live podcast. Like, not only because Legion of Skanks is also live, but he's the biggest.
But it is one of the best show experiences you can go to because it's always fun.
Or
it's
worse.
Always high energy.
Nope.
Oh, sometimes
you haven't seen the bad nights yet.
Oh, I've seen some bad nights.
No, there's been some. I watched one where literally 2 people were funny, and those are the regulars.
Lord, the first night at Madison Square Garden when they started booing, God, they were vicious.
You haven't seen enough. The boos get worse.
Yeah.
When you have the whole mothership booing you.
Oh yeah.
And you just tried your hardest is
we just watched somebody bomb.
That guy didn't bomb that bad. He was like, he told you missed the actual performance. I did.
Bombed enough.
Oh, that guy.
The last dude.
Yeah. Because they were watching.
Super quiet crickets.
That guy was probably almost brand new. The funny part is they had a guy on earlier on who had only been doing it for. I'm sorry, a girl who was on earlier who had only been on for like 6 months, and she was hilarious.
Of course, that's the thing. We want to talk shit. Why don't we get up there and do better? You know.
Who says I'm not writing jokes?
Exactly.
Actually, I wrote some David Lucas jokes.
Nice.
And some Tony Hinchcliffe jokes. I was writing. I think I'm better at being a roast comic than actually doing stand-ups. I could do really long storytelling, or I could do roasting. I don't think I could do a Kill Tony actual set. Like, I don't think I could put together 1 minute of observational humor that would be funny enough. Mm-hmm. But if I could make it to the interview portion and start insulting people and making them laugh, then I could pull that off.
Shave your head and beard, come out doing a clone of Jeff Ross.
So no, I watched the Kill Tony Madison Square Garden night 2, which was still funny, but like you said, night 1 was funny-er. It had its moments.
The ending on night 2 was great.
It was fine.
I mean, just everybody standing up, goofing off, chunking footballs.
Yeah. No, I think. Oh, the footballs was cool. They brought out Aaron Rodgers to
and he was effortlessly sending him to the back row.
Yeah. So if I heard correctly, those were custom Bonsai leather footballs.
No way.
Yeah, those were Kill Tony footballs.
And Joey Diaz was out there trying to throw.
Dude, I fucking teared up when they brought out Uncle Joey.
Diaz is badass.
Now, mind you, he only did like fucking 30 seconds.
But still, he's.
Yeah, but no, what I thought was hilarious was Donald Trump talking shit about Joe Rogan. The Joe Rogan walks out, and then here comes fucking Joey Diaz. No, the best part, and I don't know if you realize.
Joe Rogan does such a good job.
Yeah. No, what I thought was great, and when they did it, I'm like, Tony, you fucking WWE fucking nerd. When he had Ari Shaffir show up.
Motherfucker showing his dick.
He didn't show his dick. He showed dildos.
Still.
You haven't seen the other specials where he just stands on stage naked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. L.A., he came out completely naked. Just showing his fucking cock and balls to everyone. That's why they said, if you do that, $100,000 if you do this. So what did he do? He pulled out a couple dildos. And then a fake vagina. Yeah. I was like, okay, nobody saw that part.
And Harlan Williams had to stick his finger in it.
He didn't have to. He chose to.
No, he had to.
No, he chose to. And then he smelled it.
You think Harlan could have kept himself from doing that? He had to.
No,
It was compulsory.
I believe he absolutely could have chosen not to do that.
No, that's Harlan Williams.
I've seen Harlan Williams in person.
Yeah.
He's funny, but I don't think he's that demented. To actually want to do it versus wanting to do it for comedy.
Well, it's there. You're going to stick something in it.
I'm not sticking anything in it. It's near Ari Shafir's. Odds are the other thing on the side of that fake vagina was Ari's dick.
Well, grab one of the dildos.
Which means that means he's literally fingering Ari's crotch. He literally reached in to touch that fucking cock. No, here's the funny part. The whole bit about the way he does kill Tony is because he's a fucking wrestling fan. The fucking fireworks, the fucking announcing people the way he does, the theme song, the
Heidi
walkout
with
music.
the cards.
Yeah, but no, that's from fighting. But no, that's a new development. That only started in LA.
Oh, I like it. Heidi's hot as hell.
No, that only started at New Year's. So either way, they've only been doing that a year. Either way.
Well, it's a good year.
Yeah, but the fact that he had Ari come in from the audience with his own mic, interrupting the show, coming out talking shit. You're gonna come to my fucking city,
you motherfuckers.
Yeah, literally. It's like that was a total WWE moment. I'm just like, Tony is living his fucking dream of having a comedy fucking wrestling show.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, I'm just saying,
if
like,
that's what gets you happy, if that's what makes you have a good time, and if you can realize the epitome of self-actualization when you can afford to do everything you ever dreamed of.
Well, most of.
You know, to quote,
he's got the Netflix money coming.
Who was it? Ted Nugent said he's finally at the epitome of his own self-actualization, that he's having ammunition delivered to his home by the pallet load.
Okay.
And he is currently paving his driveway in spent brass.
I mean, wouldn't the actual epitome be having a fucking ammunition factory on property?
Yeah, but he's not going to do that.
Why not? That's the ultimate goal.
True.
You fuck your pallets. They're literally, I just have it fucking rain into my bedroom.
I don't know. The largest bulk ammo I've ever bought was 1,000 rounds of target loads.
Uh-huh.
I could only imagine how tickled and giddy I'd be if a pallet showed up to my house.
I don't even want to imagine what fucking Demolition Ranch has.
Right?
Or Brandon Herrera for that. Actually, well, Brandon possibly manufactures or does reloads. Either way, it doesn't matter. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay, so Kill Tony.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. So, you know how fucking... You haven't got to the Ric Flair episode, have you?
Yes.
You watched the Ric Flair episode?
Fantastic.
No, it wasn't. It was sad as fuck.
Oh, nope, never mind. Ric Flair was on Something's Burning with Burt Kreischer.
Yes.
That was great.
Much better.
Yeah.
Non-shit-face fucking Ric Flair.
Okay.
So Ric Flair had previously been on Rogan and then went on to do Kill Tony that night.
But he was just hammered?
He was drunk to begin with, and this was a case of never meet your heroes.
Did he woo?
He never managed to real woo. People wooed around him.
Okay.
No, the problem is he fucking bailed on the show because he didn't understand what he was involved in.
He said, okay, bye.
No, he said, I will never make fun of someone who's taking time. Like, he sounded like the old man he is.
So he didn't know why.
He had no idea what Kill Tony was.
It's about having fun and fucking with each other.
So when they started insulting a dude who was really bad on stage, and the guy was doing the interview, he basically had a really sad drunken meltdown and fucking left the show. And like they had a fuckload of people on the stage.
I bet that got awkward as shit.
It was. Tony tried to get him to stay and he wouldn't.
I'm gonna have to go find it.
And then I think what they said is he basically went somewhere, pissed himself, and passed out.
Oh God, poor guy.
Dude, like it was sad. Like he was bringing the whole show down, and they were just trying to have fun with him because it's one of their fucking heroes.
Yeah, that's a case of where it completely went over his head.
Yeah,
and it got weird.
He was so he was purple drunk. Like he's already super red. He was purple on Kill Tony. That's how drunk he was.
Guy was scarlet.
Yeah, it was bad. No. Scarlet's red. He was purple. You know how Trump is orange?
You know what the difference between pink and purple is? Your grip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, someone had a big grip on him.
Right.
But it was
called alcohol.
So that episode was actually incredibly sad.
Poor
and
liver.
then so you had to get through the first like very, very awkward 30 minutes. And then once they got rid of him, and like was it Sam Talent? I think it was Sam Talent was on the stage. And Sam Talent's hilarious and irreverent. And like so that was the big thing. They already had like 4 or 5 other comedians on stage in the panel and Ric Flair in the middle. And then, like, I'm sure Rogan fucking felt real bad about that because I'm sure he pushed him onto the stage. And they were hanging out with him, you know, prior to the fucking show, like they always do. And then just, yeah, it was so fucking sad.
He got too drunk too fast.
Well, he was already drunk from hanging out with Rogan.
Yeah, he should have started drinking on stage.
Should not drink at all.
True.
Like, because you need to be a little bit present. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking about a guy who's like 79 years old and he's...
He was with it with the... actually, he was really with it during the Something's Burning episode.
Yeah. But
that had a really good interview.
So there's another show that followed Ric Flair for a little bit, kind of a semi-reality show. And, it was Wife Swap. You know, where, you know, you trade wives with another celebrity or whoever for like a week.
Oh, without the pineapple, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And, dude, when I tell you, like, Rick is a fucking useless piece of shit at home.
I bet.
And then, like, it was fucking pathetic because you get a much stronger woman who doesn't do a lot of stuff. You know, a little bit more independent woman who doesn't just follow what her man says. And Rick is just being a fucking dickhead the whole time. And it's the exact opposite on the other end where the guy gets a woman who's used to fucking serving her husband every fucking thing. And then, like, eventually they ended up getting divorced and everything. Actually, I don't know if they were truly ever married, but I think they were just girlfriend and old guy.
But she finally got a taste of what it's like to have someone that's actually a partner.
Yeah. So I think eventually they split up. But, like, and then he was going out horrifically gambling every fucking night, losing his money, going out there fucking still trying to milk his fame.
Well, excuse me, damn.
Like, it was sad watching what is effectively an old washed up rock star.
Yeah.
It was fucking sad. And that was 10 years ago.
Basically self-destructive.
And that was 10 years ago. And this was like, let the guy needs to fucking retire from life.
He needs to relax. He needs to hang out. He needs to enjoy.
He needs to just go into a private life and not do fuck all. But he needs to continue to live his fame.
That's all he knows, man.
He can't let go of it. That's why
knows.
It's getting sadder and sadder. It's like, dude, you're literally probably just a handful of years away
you're
from
Ric
death.
Flair. Yes, you go woo.
Yeah. You went woo. He can't do it anymore.
No, he goes.
He's not even buff anymore. Like,
no, he's old man
still,
flabby.
He still tries to flex. I mean, yeah, it's strong for an old dude, but clearly still fucking steroids.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it's like Hulk Hogan is still doing his best, even though he's still old as shit.
But he's backed off. He's not the Hulk Hogan wrestling persona. Now he's the Hulk Hogan individual.
Yeah, well, most of these wrestlers have taken on a different persona.
Yeah, he found himself.
Yeah. Well, eventually.
He found exactly
after losing lots of money, lawsuits.
Sometimes it takes a while.
Porn video.
Hell, past couple of years, I'm just turning around to where I finally like who I am.
Did you ever see the sex tape
of Hulk Hogan?
Yeah,
I'm never watching that.
Oh no, it was fun.
No,
I mean it was terribly filmed. It was like night vision camera in the corner of the room.
Oh god.
So dude, I think it was his buddy Bubba the Love Sponge wanted him to fuck his wife. He didn't know the camera was on. So they ended up there was a whole lot of shit that went down. But Hulk is bringing the mania. If you know what I'm talking about.
God.
Dude,
if I'm going to watch a wrestler, I'm going to pull up One Night in China.
But he was still when that happened was like early 2000s, maybe a little bit late. Wrestling was effectively done for him.
Yeah.
Still in a lot of good shape.
That was before the TV show, but after the wrestling.
What do you mean?
The reality show.
I forgot about
family
that.
And all
No,
that.
It was probably during that era.
No, that was post high school for me.
No, I'm talking about the fucking sex tape.
Oh yeah.
Was during that reality show era.
Okay. So that was 20.
It was in the early 2000s for sure.
07, 08, something like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I will say Brooke Hogan was pretty hot. I had the hots for her for a while. His daughter.
Yeah.
She was pretty hot. Either way, before we go,
bodily function.
Before we go,
bastard.
Bobby Singer, you wanted to say something?
Oh fuck yeah! At work, there's I've been trying to befriend one of the shop cats.
Oh.
And I was cooking last Sunday at work. I had my camp stove out, and the cat was there staring at me. So I tossed him food for the first time, and he was eating it and hanging around. And I was like, "Man, you're here a lot. What am I going to call you? You need a name." I said, "Man, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl." And then the cat bends over, stretches, and silhouetted in the lamp and the lights in the parking lot were these giant fucking cat balls. And I went, "Balls! Your name's Bobby." So, yeah, that's it.
And with that.
So every night he's been coming around, hanging out, looking at me. He won't get, too close to me, but give me a couple months. I'll have me a work cat.
Right. Cat balls.
His name is Bobby now.
Cat balls.
I got myself.
I'm ending on cat balls. I'm just K-buying on cat balls.
K-bye.
There's no way to end more than that.
Balls.
Oh, look, my buddy went to sleep.